Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Drinks and Discussions. I am your host, Brian, alongside Big Jake, Marcus, Dad Joke Marcus, the Professor Nick in the house. We're going to be your hosts for another 2 hours or so. Glad to have you here and joining us on this Taco Tuesday. We know you guys have other things to do, and I hope if you want to crunch on your tacos and watch us in the meantime, please feel free to do so. I love to hear the crunch of tacos on Taco Tuesday. Gentlemen, how are you? We had taco salad tonight. Pizza? Was it a taco pizza? A Mexican? Okay. Hey Liz, how are you? Thank you for joining. I really appreciate you. I'm trying to get all my stuff, and I apologize. We were just a little late here. Let me get that out of here. A little late because I was moving stuff into the garage because I was doing it in the garage tonight because it's a little nice, calm, nice little breeze going out in the it's not 100 degrees, it's like 78 degrees outside, so I wanted to sit outside and smoke a cigar while I talk to you. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on, I can fix that easily. Sorry, I forgot to turn you guys back on. Okay, you guys are free to talk now. That was me. Talk again, guys. Let me double check. Da, 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 da. It says that you guys headphones. You good to go? You guys can hear it? They can hear you? What? Well, I'm the star of the show, so that's the way it's supposed to be. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm just trying to. Every time I move out to the garage, we kind of still. We end up having some issues, but give me a 2 seconds here, and I will fix that. Talk now, guys, and let me see what you got in the volume. Give me
What?
there we
What
go.
about? What about? Oh, is that better?
Yeah, I think that's it.
How about now?
I think that's it. It's delayed on the chat, so give them like a few minutes or a few seconds before it catches up, and they should be able to hear you.
Yeah, it lags.
While hello Yum, glad to see
Yum.
you on the channel. I appreciate that. I did see that you subscribed to the channel, so I really appreciate that. Michael H, Liz, and I'm trying to make sure I get to everybody as I am watching this as well.
All right, good, Liz. Everybody can hear us. Good.
All right.
Yum, what's happening?
Truth Teller, we said hello, I believe. Didn't we say hello to Truth Teller?
I think so.
What's up, truth teller?
Okay. All right. You guys talk among yourself. Michael H., I don't think I've recalled seeing you here before, but welcome to the chat. I hope everybody can hear now. Isabella, thank you again. It's good to see you again. And you got your Pinot Grigio, Marcus. That is the a white version of Pinot Noir. In case you didn't want to. All right. I got to step away for a quick second. I got to get the remote control, and then I'll be right back.
So, truth teller, I'm thinking that your icon, your little logo there, I think that should be a magic 8-ball. Being that he's the truth teller. Jake, how you been, man?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. It was a long week, but, I blasted through it pretty good. Can't complain.
Nice. What's going on, Nick?
You can hear me now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on
Yeah.
with the audio system.
Uh-oh.
I had this remote studio setup because during COVID I've been teaching online, and like a month ago, everything just started falling apart. I got to figure out why my camera's not working, and now my audio's not working. And I teach my first online class this Saturday. So,
Mm. Nick, is it okay to ask what you teach?
yeah, I teach experimental physics at California State University, Dominguez Hills.
Nice.
There, I just got
Okay.
myself.
Yeah. Oh no.
Everybody knows I got myself. Oh, my volume's way low. Okay, how's that? Is that better?
And you teach us how to
Okay, that's
build
better.
nuclear warheads.
That's true. Nuclear warheads.
What's up,
fuel-air
Paladin?
explosives.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice.
Got Paladin in the house. Everybody, Silly Wabbit, what's going on? Highway Star.
I gotta pull up the chat.
Right.
Rabbit. Yeah. Hey, I appreciate that, truth teller.
Yes, Yum, Saul let me out.
Oh, Isabella, how are you? It's good to see everybody here. It's been a long week. Good to see.
Isabella said she loves us. She said, "Love you guys" earlier.
It's not the love.
I know, right?
I'm back.
Oh, all right.
Has Nick got his audio and sound going? Working real good?
Yeah,
Yep.
I jury-rigged a way for it to work, so it's working now, so I'm just gonna stop fiddling with it.
All right, works for me. Works for me. Hello.
Andy doxed himself while you were gone, Brian.
Oh. I'm sure it's not the first or the last time, right, Nick?
Oh, I dox myself all the time. I mean, I'm an open book.
Hello. Did
That's
everybody mention or say hello to everybody that I missed when I was gone? I see that we've got Silly Wabbit in the house.
Hello.
Highway
Hello,
Star.
Isabella.
Appreciate you guys joining. I want to get into this because I want to change the way our format goes today, because I know we normally talk about something light toward the end. I want to move that up forward, and I'm going to turn my camera on in just a second too, guys. We normally talk about these things toward the end, but I want to do the light stuff first. And then some of the things that we're going to be talking about are going to be a little bit heavier in weight, and I'm really dying to hear some of your perspective, and I want to make it go as long as we keep talking about it without having to cut it off to end up having something light at the end. So if you guys are okay with that, I'd like to kind of do that if I may. But before we do anything, let us talk about what we're drinking. Big Jake, what do you got tonight, sir?
Oh, not fancy. Pepsi.
Choice of a new generation.
I might crack something open here in a little bit if I'm feeling a little good here. Might go pour me some apple pie. Thinking some apple pie might do some good tonight. Veen, what's going on, buddy?
Who's that?
Got Veen.
Oh, Veen. Hey,
Oh,
hello.
Veen.
How are you? I was talking to Veen earlier in the when I was doing the promo. I'm trying to get my camera going here, guys. Nick, what do you got tonight on the drinking aspects?
I'm having Pepsi.
Oh,
I know, I'm a teetotaler these days.
okay.
I just
Okay.
haven't. Maybe I'm getting old. I haven't gone to the store and I have wine bottles, but they're all like expensive, and I don't want to open them up. And yeah, Pepsi.
Not a problem, man. All right, Mr. CRB, what you got tonight?
Yeah. So I'm gonna have
As you guys are-
a beer tonight.
I didn't even know I had my video up on the live panel, and you guys were watching me set up and move around. Anyway, but go ahead. What do you got? What you got? Beer?
Yeah.
Root beer?
Yeah, I'm gonna have. Yeah, there you go. But I'm gonna have a cream soda. Cream soda, baby.
I was getting all hyped up there for a minute. I was like, we're gonna have Marcus drink for the first time on panel. I'm like, hey, that's good though. It's good though. That's okay.
Who's got the screen?
Oh, yeah.
Who put a shared screen up there? Nick, what you trying to share there?
Oh, sorry, that's my HAL 9000. I've been fighting with it all morning.
Oh, okay.
All day.
I won't share it then.
No, you can share.
He was gonna teach us, give us a little demonstration on what he teaches in class.
Flight patterns. That you want to say?
It's nothing interesting.
Okay. Then I'll.
Megan said she's gonna try to be here, but it's her birthday and she's probably gonna go out and party.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, everybody in the chat, please, even though she's not here, wish Megan a happy birthday. And we all on the panel want to say a healthy and happy birthday to Megan as well.
Happy birthday to ya.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Come on, me and Marcus ain't shy. Come on, guys.
Happy birthday, Megan.
Happy birthday, Megan.
Happy birthday, Megan.
Oh, very sultry and
That was,
sexy.
yeah, I was like, whoa. I didn't know it was that kind of party, Nick.
Everybody says I need more volume, so I tried to get close to my mic.
There you go.
Nick, did you say what you have for? I wasn't paying attention because I was doing my camera.
Yes.
Okay, you said it. Okay, so
Plain old Pepsi.
okay, that's right. So what I'm going to be drinking tonight, and I'm going to tell you a little story. It's called Roulette Rye Dry Whiskey, and why it's in a small bottle, I'll tell you why. It's because my company has, and we have a vendor, and all of their clients for certain regions, every year they do a bourbon tasting and whatever newest, latest patches or releases that the software is actually going to be trying to roll out or want you to buy as a company. And so they ship us like 4 bottles of these little things to us so we can try, and I'm going to be drinking that tonight. It's our little straight rye whiskey. 95% rye, 5% barley, and it's 50% alcohol by volume. So I'm going to be feeling good tonight. Feeling real good.
I have to admit,
Things.
now I'm craving that.
Come on.
What's up, Smitty? And one more thing. To Team Skeptic's credit, when I was on his live stream, I saw him drinking Jameson Black Barrel. And I tried it.
It's good. That's good stuff.
Very, very good. Very good Irish whiskey. That's really good. So Team Skeptic, thanks for giving me an idea of what to drink without actually telling me.
I'm a cry foul on Team Skeptic's taste in whiskeys, because on the last one I saw him drinking shots on, he was drinking Crown.
Yes, I
I
saw it.
like Crown.
And so,
I like
listen, you can like it. I'm not saying anything bad about it. But if you are a whiskey bourbon drinker, Crown is not what you want to reach for when you're going to the liquor store. It's not.
No, Crown is what you get at like a concert. Double shot of Crown, because that's the nicest top shelf whiskey they have.
Right.
But if you want something for home, no. It's like Corona. Like when you go to a concert, you buy Corona beer.
Somebody popped in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Got Jeff, the financial guy.
Oh, what's going
yeah.
on? What's going on?
It is I, my friend.
The one and only. Okay, so let me explain who Jeff is, the financial guy is. So when I was in Arkansas for a bit, and again, I had just kind of started this channel.
Well, yeah, I do.
It was Jeff and myself going around town, setting up in different places. So if you see some of the earlier stuff, before we were on YouTube, we were on Facebook. And those early videos are of Jeff and I at tables at random places, talking to owners of the bar or the restaurant or whatever. And it was great.
Wait, this was in Arkansas?
Yep, it was in Arkansas. Yeah.
We had on shoes, so it was cool.
We did have on shoes.
So your name is Jeff.
And hey,
Nice to
Paladin.
meet you.
Hey, Paladin, by the way, in the chat. It's good to see you as well.
Wait, are we still here?
Yeah, we're still here. We got you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm using dual monitors, and literally my Discord had to update before I got on. So now I'm trying to figure out why my sound is on my external monitor. So it's weird for me over here. But I'm in it.
Okay.
I had the same problem. That must be it, the update. I had the same problem. My audio was all messed up.
Oh, gotcha.
That explains it.
I had to update mine, I guess, a couple of weeks ago because my camera was all jacked up. So maybe, yeah.
I wonder if my camera will work now.
They say you look like Big
I
E
have
from
no idea.
Jeff, they say you look like Big E from WWE.
I look like who?
Big E from
Oh,
WWE.
Brother, look, I couldn't tell you when the last time I watched any WWE anything, so I have no idea who these new people are.
Well, I don't either. I know he does some introductions for some boxing matches, actually. So I can kind of tell you do kind of favor him a little. Slightly.
All right, fair enough.
Let's give a warm welcome to Miss Marie Cook.
Yay. Hello, Mary. Hello, Marie.
Oh, Miss Cook.
And Jeff, real quick, before my ice starts melting too much, what are you drinking tonight, sir?
Oh,
Tequila.
let's see if it'll show up. Like, okay, I might have to turn this background off, and I have no idea who even put this background on. I have no idea.
It looks like it's a background from Oculus
From
Quest,
Discord.
or maybe it's just
I
from
have no
Discord.
idea,
Okay.
but I am going with Apothic Red here.
Okay.
I'm winding it today.
There you go.
Oh, that's a good brand.
So,
I like that brand.
oh yeah, man, I love it. So, to kind of give you guys perspective, I live currently in Mexico. So, you know, when you travel, you're used to your familiar brands back home, right? And you got to start to substitute and figure out what's the equivalent sometimes when you go. And this was a brand that I knew I was familiar with, and I'm like, all right, I know this tastes good. Some of these other brands, I don't really know, but I trust this one. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and I do have some tequila back there, of course, because when in Rome.
Might as well do
I have a
what the Romans do.
I have a quick question for you, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
You said you live in Mexico, right?
Yeah, man. Look, I gotta figure this thing out because, like, I'm dropping some of this audio. I can hear you saying, asking me the question about living in Mexico. Yes, we do.
Now, have you ever had a drink called Mezcal de Pachuga before?
Hold on, real quick. Let me try to turn my second monitor up. I heard a mezcal something.
Yeah, it's called Mezcal de Pachuga.
I don't think so. So I drink more mezcals back in the States than I did here, or than I do here. Here, you know, I'll go with more of the tequilas, if I am gonna drink. But like the last mezcal I had in the States was one called Illegal or Illegal, how it depends on how you want to pronounce it, and it was solid. Like it's probably $80 a bottle, and it is super smooth.
Yeah, because I learned that Mezcal was basically the Mexican alternate of moonshine. Except when they
Okay,
distill
I can
it, they
see
use.
that. Like, yeah.
Except when they
If
distill
you
it,
ever
they
watch
use.
Poltergeist, you will see how mezcal goes down on Poltergeist.
Yeah. I am all the Sith. What's going on?
Yes, hello, Sith. So I want to say cheers real quick. Let's go ahead and get a cheers going here real quick to a great podcast. Come on, Marcus. Use those muscles to open that thing up. Use those
Cheers.
muscles.
Wait. I see a Pepsi
Yes.
and a A&W root beer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to the show, brother.
I told you, man.
Cream soda.
Hey, I'll leave for 1 year. We doing soft drinks now?
Hold on. Oh, wait.
It's going down. It's going downhill, Jeff. It's going down.
Hang on a sec. I'll one up you real
Hey.
quick.
Hey, Jeff, I normally have Mountain Dew, but I changed it up this time. This is the first time I've done a root beer.
At least he came in with the shine. Okay, sir. Salute to you for that.
We shamed him. We shamed him into it. We shamed him into drinking a little. Put some hair on your chest.
And peer pressure is a bitch, isn't it? Oh, can I say that?
I mean, if you're gonna say that, look, you gotta take a shot for every cuss word you use. So you might.
That is so good.
Oh my god.
Well, this particular apple pie is not like an apple and cinnamon. This is like a green apple and caramel kind of apple pie. So it's delicious, man.
Okay.
Now,
So we got
Big
vodka.
Jake, where do you live?
Hold on one second. We got vodka in the chat saying Sith is drinking some vodka in the chat. I want to make sure if any of you guys are drinking anything in the chat, please put it down, and I'll make sure I give you a shout out for whatever it is you're drinking. I know we've already talked to who was it? Isabel. She said she's drinking her Pinot Grigio. So if you guys are drinking something, let's all take a shot real quick. We'll drink a happy birthday to Megan. Drink right now, straight to the head. Happy birthday again, Megan.
Woo!
I gotta be honest. I would love some shine right about now, man.
Oh
I'm
my
like
gosh.
jealous.
Whew. And to answer your question, Jeff, I live in a small town just outside downtown Cincinnati.
Okay. Man, I hadn't had any moonshine in a while. Like I love and respect moonshine for the long standing reign that it has had, so to speak. It is a very tenured drink. Man.
Well, this stuff right here, I actually got at the Sugarland Distillery in Tennessee,
Okay.
and but I have actually had real mountain moonshine, like actual real Tennessee moonshine, like actual Tennessee whiskey. But
Yeah. My
that's good
grandfather was
stuff.
a bootlegger back in the day.
That's awesome. I love learning about all that stuff.
He definitely made his share of some shot.
That is awesome.
We've got Yum saying she's drinking water. And so, again, we appreciate you guys over in the chat. So I want to get into it real quick. Let's get into the light stuff, and then I'll go into the heavy stuff. Jeff, I'm sorry I didn't tell you about some of the topics that we're going to be discussing, but I'm going to hit the high points real quick, or just the topics, and then we're going to start with the lighter stuff first. So I want to talk about Herschel Walker and some of the things he's been saying. That's been all going around the news for a couple of months. He is the Republican candidate in Georgia running for, I believe, the Congress. I think he's working for a Senate seat. Then I want to talk about something that just popped up today. I didn't even tell Marcus and Jake about this one. But did you guys see the Little League players putting cotton stuffed toy, broke open these stuffed toys, took the cotton out, and started placing it on their black teammate's head in the dugout?
Nope.
I got some of that for you. I want you guys to see that, get your perspective, and then I want to talk about. And I don't know if you guys read the article or seen the news article where there's a former NFL player whose brother, during a Peewee League football game, shot and killed the coach.
Oh yeah.
And why?
He may have gone. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Well, the reason I want to bring that up is not because we're talking about sports, but it was brought to my attention because of that just happened in Dallas. Another Dallas community decided that they felt it was appropriate to send a raffle for their Peewee football team and cheerleading squad, raffling off a semi-automatic shotgun, folks. I kid you not.
Wow.
Yeah, let's unpack that when we get to it. But I want to start off again with the lighter side of things. All right. If you haven't seen this, I want to show it to you, and then I want to get everybody's take, because when I say it's crazy, it makes zero sense to me. Hang on a second. Move that over there. And there we go.
The man wearing a Yankee cap.
All right. Share my screen. Boom, 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 boom. And I didn't clip this video the way I really wanted to, so bear with me. You're going to hear some over talking on it a little bit. Actually, I'm going to mute it because I don't think the over talking has anything to do with the actual story, what he's doing. Okay. Here we go. Now just watch this guy.
The man wearing a Yankee cap first uses a regular straw to make a hole through the hot dog, and then licks both ends of the regular straw before using the hot dog as a straw to take a sip from his drink.
Now listen, I kid you not, guys. First of all, put a 1 in the chat if you drink an alcoholic beverage, or excuse me, let's just say beer, because sometimes I'll sip on something through a little cocktail straw. But if you drink an alcoholic beverage or a beer out of a straw, please put a 1 in the chat if you've ever done it. And 2, if you think that's pretty dang cuckoo. That's pretty damn nuts if you ask me.
Nasty.
I'm just gonna say, I bet you that guy is a physicist. That's the only explanation.
It has to be something.
And yes, now I'm going to try to drink
I-
hot dog or beer out of a hot dog. Maybe it's an Oktoberfest thing. You know, the flavors of. Yeah, I'm going with that.
Truth teller says, "Oh dear Lord, I was always taught not to play with my food."
I would expect him to be like sucking chili out of a thing or something, but beer, that dude, gross.
First of all, you've got a straw right there in your hand. He's licking the straw and then poking the hole in the hot dog to drink the beer out of the hot dog.
It's nasty, dude. Ugh.
Wow. Fluffy T Cat, thank you for joining the podcast. We appreciate you. Jeff, we can't hear you, by the way. Your mic went down.
Megan's here.
You know, I can't say that I'm mad at the guy. It's borderline genius a little bit. You know, just must be trying to kill time during the game, and I don't know what stadium he was at, but maybe
I'd
his
say
team
it's
was
a bad
losing.
idea, but it's kind of like, why? Like, I mean,
No.
at least it was beer and not water, okay?
Well, I guarantee you this. Let me ask you this question. How many people think that because of that, hello, Deanna, welcome. Thank you for joining. How many people think that people are going to go out and try that now?
I already said I was going to.
Oh, yeah. So I think I'm going to try it too.
I think it'll become a thing. Like it'll end up being like the new challenge.
It already has become that.
It is.
We already got it trending on Twitter.
Right, and then what's going to happen is these ballparks are going to start selling those hot dog straws.
Oh man, look! Look.
It's not a hot dog; it's a straw.
You're gonna see bacon wrap hot dog in the beer. Like,
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. 1 second. That's all right. Megan, I don't know what the heck. I have said happy birthday to you several times today. Even in the promo, I even said it.
We sang to you.
And you got a little serenade from Marcus and me. So, again, happy birthday. How about that? My Barry White voice.
Happy birthday, Megan.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Need to go a little octaves deeper there, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I don't
I'm
have
not
it. I don't have it. I get it. I don't have it. Sorry. I just don't have it.
I'm not going to do my first happy birthday for Megan because my creeper out.
Oh yeah, that's right. Megan missed a sultry happy birthday from Nick.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Maybe if you come back later, I'll sing happy birthday like Marilyn Monroe did to JFK.
okay,
Oh.
all right. Box fan, you have a box fan on
Alright.
the floor.
Yeah, let me say,
Up there?
you got a white dress. You got a white dress in that closet, Nick. Come on, tell me something.
No, he's got to do it the way that Wayne did it on Wayne's World. He's got to pull his whitey tighties up in his ass and put the paintball on. And
Hey, and you got a
Might be
video of
what's in
this
the hot
too.
dog in the beer.
what's that, Jeff?
I said that might be what's in the hot dog in the beer.
Yeah, it's
I
a
don't
lot
think
worse.
No. The hot dog and the beer, that's a thing now.
Well, I will tell you, if
Hey,
I ever
Deanna.
decide to do it, I promise you, I will video it and I will provide it for you guys on the stream. I promise you that.
I will do the same. When I get my camera
I
working
think you should
tomorrow,
do it.
I'll record it.
Wait a minute now. Isabella is saying burnt hot dogs and a marshmallow.
Huh?
What?
I've heard that before. I have heard that before.
Now pickles and like peppermint or Jolly Rancher or something like that is actually pretty freaking fire.
I like peppermint with orange juice.
Bye, Nick. Bye. Get out.
Forever, you're banned.
That's like brushing your teeth and drinking a gallon of freaking Sunny D. That's disgusting.
Oh, that's the best.
Oh, so you like Sunny D?
I love Sunny D.
God, I haven't had Sunny
So
D
you do
since
mustard and
elementary
watermelon too.
Oh, jeez. What?
I have not tried mustard and watermelon.
That was a new
It's on my
thing.
list
Yeah.
now.
Mustard-
I've actually
mustard's
tried
awesome.
that. Surprisingly enough, I actually tried that.
Well,
You ever tried jalapenos in watermelon?
No.
No,
I
but
don't
that
think
also
so.
sounds good.
That sounds good, actually.
People
that's
think
Oh, man.
I'm weird.
Look, that might be a nice little cocktail.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Back up. What did the watermelon and the watermelon and the mustard? What did that taste like? You say you liked it, or you just tried it?
It wasn't bad, man. I actually ate more than one because, like, the first time you taste, you're like, all right, yeah, you got opposing views in your taste buds. It's like, hey, wait, what's going on here? So then you got to try like maybe 3 or 4 times to really start to appreciate what's happening in there, because you have the twang of the mustard, and then you have like that sweet juiciness of the watermelon. It actually works, man. In a very weird way. It works.
I don't know. I'm turned on.
Yeah. I don't know about.
I want
you,
that
Nick.
experience.
Listen, I have been hearing about this, and apparently, like, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe sometime last year it was a big social media challenge, and people going crazy over this. And man, my initial thought was, there's no way, that just doesn't make sense. But I'm that dude who's like, man, let's just see. And I mean, I grew up eating like chili on honey buns, which is legit delicious, by the way.
Sounds pretty good, actually.
You should
sounds
really
disgusting.
try it. No,
So-
brother, it's not.
Chili
So
on what?
Hot
Chili on
dog. I
honey
mean,
bun?
chili on a honey bun. You got that
I'd eat
salty,
it.
sweet flavor.
I
Chili
may have
on a honey
misspoken.
bun.
I may have misspoken. They were saying that hot dogs and marshmallows, not together, but separately, taste better when they're burnt. That's what they were saying. Not hot dog on a marshmallow.
Yeah. Hands down.
Yeah, I like.
Like-
I don't like marshmallows.
Man,
but
you
I
better
like the
have a
burnt
good
marshmallow.
charred hot dog coming off the grill. Come on now.
I agree.
Not too charred. Maybe 3
I mean, like,
lines.
we don't want it like a brick yet or anything, but like,
I've
when
become fairly good at.
it starts to char, yeah, you good.
Well, let me tell you,
I'm
so
fairly
I'm with
good
Marcus. I'm with Marcus. I like the grill marks on my hot dog, but I don't like them burnt. That's about it. I don't.
Nah.
It's-
We got to go a little past the grill marks, fella.
Of course,
Look.
you all get Nathan's Originals, right?
Oh, yes, we get them here.
Yeah.
Nathan, that's the only hot dog. And you know how you
no.
boil them at home? There's a to get that New York taste. If you don't have time to barbecue. The thing is, even if your hot dog is frozen, you take water, you put it on the pot. You don't wait for the water to boil. You put that frozen hot dog in there, a little bit of salt, a little bit of olive oil, and then turn the oven on. Once it boils, your hot dog's cooked. Take it out. That's a New York hot dog.
You know,
Okay.
there's Mr. Physicist. There's a newfangled contraption in my kitchen called a microwave. So
The microwaved hot dogs with Sunny D after atomic fireballs. I think that's what microwaved hot dogs
Ballpark.
would taste like.
you had to be hot. You hot.
are the only hot dog.
How do you microwave a hot dog? Don't they explode?
I mean, yeah, they can. If
but
you leave them too long,
but
they
you gotta
explode
watch them.
first.
Yeah, you gotta watch them.
Well, you can poke holes in them, and that'll help mitigate some of that.
Right.
Mr. B
Yeah.
said he used to mix what do you say, chocolate syrup with Tang?
Ooh.
Not
I mean, I
very
like
good.
Tang as a.
What
I
is
like
that?
Tang as. You've never heard of Tang before?
Oh yeah, Tang's
Yeah.
great. It was on the space shuttle, and I think at least a few of us are old enough to remember, Coke and milk.
I remember hearing that, but I don't know if
Yeah,
that
it's
was
from
actually
Laverne
true.
and Shirley, and I think it's called a Blackout. And my parents made it for me when I was a really tiny kid, and I was like, hey, I like this. Of course, my friends made fun of me when they saw me pour milk into my Coke when they came over. But
Oh, you mean Coca-Cola? Okay.
Yeah, Coke and
yeah,
milk.
not Coke.
No, it was actually. Hold on, let me. It was milk and Pepsi. It was milk and Pepsi, not milk and Coke. Laverne and Shirley.
Verified them.
Laverne and Shirley
Oh, yeah, milk.
was milk and Pepsi.
Milk and Pepsi.
Yep. And there's a lot of talk in the chat about Hawaiian King rolls. I'm telling you, you put me some Hawaiian King
Oh,
rolls
really?
in my face, I'm gonna gobble them all up.
Those are the best.
My wife,
Yes, sir.
my wife loves them too.
What is they are? I don't eat them as much, man. Like, and I'm like, anytime we go back to Texas, my wife's best friend, they always pretty much have them in the house, and I rarely will ever touch one. Like, and they'll just pick them up and just walk around and eat them like it's like a French baguette or something.
It's good.
As good as they are, I don't eat them like that. Now, I've been to house parties where people have made like little sliders and stuff with them, and they're good. They are super good, but that's probably why I don't eat them, because I know, it's like Pringles. Once you pop,
Mm-hmm.
I'm double fisted.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be craving some Hawaiian or Hawaiian rolls or burnt hot dog by the time this live stream is over.
Put the burnt hot dog, chop it in half so it can fit on the Hawaiian roll, and then what you do is when you halving it, you make a little mini hot dog bun with the Hawaiian roll, and it has to be burnt.
Actually sounds pretty good.
It's gonna be, and if you put some mustard on it and then drizzle some watermelon on it like that, oh man, you got a whole delicacy. Yeah.
Jeez.
All right, let's get the show started on some of the more heavy-weighted topics because you guys are making me hungry as well as everybody in the chat because we're going into now to green chili on everything from Isabella because that's my favorite. I like Hatch chili in my mac and cheese, but that's another story.
New Mexico, Hatch chili.
Or New Mexico, yes, absolutely.
New Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah, New Mexico. Okay, so I was going to show you guys the flyer in which I think I'm going to show it to you anyway. I was debating, but I redacted some of the stuff out of it. Why the stuff keeps coming up on the wrong screen? I redacted some of the stuff out of it to make sure that it didn't really kind of expose the place where it came from or the team involved, the person who sent it to me, or even the town. So let me make sure.
Conversation guy.
But I wanted to tell you guys, I'm going to put in the chat first about just a link about the coach that was shot by, if you were a football guy, you may have remembered this cornerback, I believe. Marcus, correct me if I'm wrong. Talib. I might be mispronouncing his name.
Aqib Talib.
Talib. And his brother is the one who actually shot the Peewee coach over the score of the game or something about the game, and shot and killed this Peewee football coach here in a small town of Lancaster here in the Dallas area. Now, having said that, this is in the news, guys. This has been in the news for at least about a week now.
Yeah.
He just turned himself in. Now, why I'm telling you guys this is because today, a community that is not far from Dallas in the same general area sent over, and you're probably going to see it when I didn't want you to see it right then. I'm going to share it with you guys. But it is this, and I'm going to let you guys read it, and then I want you guys to share your thoughts. I'm going to shut up and then let you guys tell me what you think about it. It's just an image, and you guys tell me what you think there. Sorry.
Give me a second, I can't see.
It's like boardroom meetings.
Sorry. I keep switching it.
Yeah, it looks good. Oh.
Yeah, we can see it.
It's like a pump action.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So if you can't read it, it says this is a football cheer gun raffle. A football and cheer gun raffle. They're raffling off for a Peewee football and cheer team a $919 shotgun, semi-automatic shotgun at a Peewee football
This is
team.
in Texas, right?
This is in Texas.
Oh well,
Yeah.
I mean, something. I don't know. No harm, no foul.
Well,
And
you can get it cheaper for that at Bass Pro Shops for $679.
Right.
Hello,
So
Thumper.
they're
Hello, Thumper.
They're gonna max out their fundraising budget.
Right. Well, everybody's
Just-
going to be,
just one
just get it.
fundraiser.
Everybody's going to go and buy, wants to buy. I mean, they don't want to go out and buy a $900 rifle, but they're going to go and buy a
Right.
$5, $10 raffle ticket in hopes that they're going to win it. But the optics of this is just wrong for me. That's the only thing I'm saying. Everybody has a right to own a gun, but when we're just talking about another Texas city, that Uvalde, that had a school of elementary school students shot and killed by an automatic rifle. Then you got the Peewee coach that was just killed in gun violence around Peewee football teams just this week. How does this make sense? How does someone come and say, in the climate in which we live and the things that are rampant in our communities, do you say this is a good idea? That's my question to you folks.
I have a quick question on that. Is this like, is this the same place that it happened in, or is it just like
And no, it's not
unrelated?
No,
unrelated.
Probably about 60 miles apart. Yeah, unrelated.
Okay.
What's going on, James Blonde?
Look, there's a narrative that, oh, we should be offended by this stuff, and I'm sure it made national news, MSNBC and whatnot. But again, it is the people of that community which decide whether it's correct or not. I mean, the reason they are raffling off a shotgun is because people in that area, or part of that, little league to raise money, they're going to buy raffle tickets. If it wasn't a shotgun, maybe they wouldn't sell as much. I mean, who are we to tell them that they're wrong? Now, yeah, I don't agree with it. I think it's kind of distasteful, but...
Yeah, and just make no mistake about it. I'm not bringing this up to your attention because I'm saying that I'm casting dispersions on it. I just think it's really appropriate for us to discuss because in the climate in which we live, optics means things. I think it sends a message, and even sends a message to our kids. And sometimes the things that we do as an adult can actually be taken from a child's eye in a manner in which we're not really hoping that it is being taken. So that's why I'm just trying to look at the optics of this and what kind of message it's actually sending to today's youth when you're saying, hey, guns are okay around young kids and it's appropriate around Peewee football teams and youths, because what if they're having a banquet with all these kids and then they're going to have a gun that they're going to be saying, hey, here you go, in front of kids? I don't want my son exposed to guns until I'm ready for him to learn about it.
At least not on school. At least not in a school setting, or if it's at a school or something. If they want to do it somewhere outside of a school or something, sure, but do it with adults around.
Well, I'm assuming that they would have adults around it. I'm just saying, do you guys think it's a good idea? Yes or no is really kind of what I'm going. Is it appropriate when you have so many school shootings, so many deaths or gun-related deaths, that this would be, again, I would not vote okay for this, and I wouldn't even want my daughter or son participating in a fundraiser when this was something they were raffling off. Whatever happened to like a suitcase or a trip to a gift card to Costco or something like that?
In that context, then yeah, I don't agree with that.
I grew up in the country, and I don't know how it is in Texas, but Deer Day is a thing, and literally they would shut school down for the opening of deer season, right? And I remember growing up where we used to have like squirrel killing competitions, right? Like we would all meet up in the morning and, we check back in at the end of the day and you go bag as many squirrels as you can and the person won something, right? Mm-hmm. So, in the context of me growing up in the country, growing up around guns, hunting was a way of life. We literally at our school, you got certified to get your permits for hunting and fishing and all that, right? So, it's hard for me to kind of disagree with it. Granted, I understand what happened, with the person getting shot. That is very sad situation, but. There's a lot of things that happen that are unrelated, that are sometimes related, but can you let that halt any and everything that's going on, right? Mm-hmm. I know, the hunter and the country boy in me was like, I get it, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's probably the thing that's commonly done in the town, right? And it probably, it had nothing to do with what happened, in the heat of the moment where the guy lost his life or whatever. But, I don't know. I just see it a little bit differently. I understand where you're coming from in context of, maybe you do the gift card and say, hey, this gift card is for this, but don't just advertise the gun. Maybe that softens the blow a little bit. Mm-hmm. But just growing up in the country where hunting was very much a way of life, like I knew people who hunted off season to go kill deer and animals so they can feed families who didn't have
Right.
the ability to buy food for themselves. You know what I mean? So they were literally openly committing an illegal act so they can go feed other people's families.
Well, listen.
So,
Well, let's see. I see the path and what you're trying to lay out there for the reasoning, and I'm all for community guidelines. I believe that there are things that people do in communities that I probably wouldn't do in my community, or there are things in my community that other people wouldn't do in their community. So I'm not saying this is like a wrong or a right thing to do. I just think, again, for me, it's in poor taste. And sending a message and saying that you are conscientious of not just your own community, but the people around and surrounding communities is important to teach our young people now. Don't be isolated and just exposed to the things that are in front of you. Expose yourself to life and be conscious and aware of your surroundings and other people's feelings. And I think that will bode for a better society for us in our future.
Hey, Bart.
Hey, Bart.
I tried to mention it earlier. The inspiration behind this, stating the obvious, is to raise funds for this football team and this cheer squad, and anything outside of that, sure, perhaps it may be in poor taste, but they're not auctioning off this gun to a child. It's going to be an adult that's going to take it home. Same way that same adult might go to your local sporting goods store and purchase one on his or her own. So I'm kind of indifferent. I hear what you're saying, Brian, and perhaps, like I said, perhaps it is in poor taste, but the goal here was to raise as much money as fast as they possibly can, and they're going to do it with this one.
Absolutely. I think if that's the key, I think they're going to have they're probably going to set some records on how many raffle tickets they sell. I really do know that.
Now, would anybody have a different opinion if it was maybe, say, a crossbow or a compound bow?
Well,
What do you think about that?
I don't have a problem with the gun, so I definitely wouldn't have a problem with it being a bow.
Well, so here's my thing. I think if you're catering to a Peewee football cheer team, I think whatever you're raffling off should be age appropriate. It's like if I go to a golf tournament and they have raffles. The raffles aren't going to be hunting equipment. They're not going to put anything in there that's not either related to golf, drinking, or maybe some gift to go to some restaurant or anything like that. They're going to make it to be appropriate for a golf tournament. Again, this is a Peewee football team and cheer team. I just don't think that this is age appropriate to raffle off for that environment. In my opinion.
If it was a Daisy BB gun, would it matter?
If it was a toy, it would have to say, be careful not to shoot your eye out. But I would say it's okay.
They're capable
I think that's
of doing the
okay.
same kind of damage.
Because now that's age appropriate.
So, debate. Oh, sorry. Debates like this about whether the flyer is appropriate or not these are distractions. I mean, when it comes down to it, whether they raffle off a shotgun or a $50 gift certificate to the local vegan restaurant, it's operationally insignificant when it comes to guns in America. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything.
So what would if I changed it from a gun and said, hey, we're raffling off a VIP pass to the Gentleman's Club at the closest one nearest you? I'm just saying. What would you say then?
Well, what I'm trying to say is the debate about whether they should or should not raffle the shotgun. I mean, I think it's a silly idea, but it doesn't matter. If they make a conscious effort, say, hey, this is distasteful, so we're going to raffle off something else besides a gun. The issue which we're really dealing with is guns in America and shootings. And debates about these little things are operationally insignificant. But they make for good news and they make for animated debate between people, but it doesn't mean anything.
Well, Megan put a nice point in there. What if it was a gay pride flag or something that was related to LGBTQT? What if it was something of that nature? Then you have a problem, or would our viewers have a problem if it was something related to something that they didn't believe in? And again, not everybody is going to have the same viewpoint. And to Nick's point, real finally, this is not about right or wrong, should you or shouldn't you. It's, again, to me, it's always about the optics and how it looks when you have impressionable children involved in going door to door selling raffles for a shotgun.
True, but I mean, do optics really matter anymore in American political discourse?
Well, to me, I'm not speaking for anybody else
to
but
us,
for me.
yes, but I mean, we've seen for the last 5 years that it's pretty much a free-for-all. After a shooting, you know, if I believe when it was Columbine, the NRA held their meeting, like, in the same town. One of the shootings, they did that. And it's like, yeah, everybody complained.
Same thing here.
Optics are bad.
Same thing here.
But
After Uvalde, they had the Rifle Association did their thing here too.
did their thing there. But what I'm saying is, back then when they did it, the general public was appalled. It's like, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now in 2022,
It's like normal
nobody
occurrence.
cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
In fact, it probably is a good political move on their part to do something inflammatory like that.
Well,
And again, it comes down to the people. I mean, if the people really were offended by it, then they wouldn't show up for the convention. But no, this
so
is who we are.
we've got 31 viewers, and there are 22 who responded to the poll. And out of that, it says, "Is shotguns okay to raffle?" 45% said yes, and 55% said no.
Oh,
I wonder if the 55% are hunters.
that just means I haven't been around that much because your audience is becoming liberal. You can't have that.
See, and I was one of the ones that said yes. So, but,
Yeah, see, Marcus is
okay.
Marcus is on
Where
that.
is this poll at? I didn't even see a poll.
See, Jeff, I sent you that message today that you're supposed to get on YouTube and follow the stream on YouTube and not on Facebook anymore.
I didn't know you sent me a message. Where'd you send this message?
It was a messenger today. You responded.
Oh,
Yahoo Messenger, or not Yahoo Messenger, Facebook Messenger.
I've drank since then.
Yeah, me too. I'm still doing it.
Brian, you were supposed to. Hey, there you go. Hey, Brian, you're supposed to give me a heads up before you close the poll because I'm seeing that number that doesn't add up now.
Oh, let's see. Here we go, Mr. Actuary. Mr. Actuary over here.
Actuary. Okay.
No, I'm not an actuary. But hey, Brian, you stole my thunder earlier with the whole gentleman club thing because I was going to say, you know, would you rather they sell pies like they did in Revenge of the Nerds?
Refresh my recollection. I'm not sure.
So it was just these tinfoil pans, and they were just spraying whipped cream in it. But on the bottom of these tinfoil pans was a naked picture of that guy's girlfriend.
Oh.
Wow.
Yo, you went way back with that
They
one.
sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of raffle tickets, they're going to have a pie eating contest, and it's just the whipped cream, and they're going to be looking at naked pictures at the end of each pie.
Yeah, there you go.
Paladin, I don't know if you see Paladin's comment in the chat. That's actually probably right on the nose, what he says. If you don't like what's being raffled, then don't participate.
Well, that's it, and I agree with that. I agree. I agree with that. That's a valid point. And if you're a parent and you don't feel like it's appropriate for your child, I think that you should say, hey, we're not going to participate in this particular raffle. It's not, again, about if you should or shouldn't necessarily, but I just think, again, with the climate, and it's almost like if you go to someone's, I did this, I'm ratting on myself. There was a guy that his wife passed away, and he's on our golf group. He's an older gentleman. And when he came back, dummy me made some type of joke about somebody dying or something that was just inappropriate. And I caught myself, and the guy that I was driving with, he was like, nudged me, and I was like, oh my God. And it wasn't because I couldn't say it, it just didn't fit it wasn't appropriate for the environment. That's what I'm getting at, folks. If I can't make it any more clear than just that example, I'm not saying this is an anti-gun movement, speech that I'm making here. I'm not saying that this is right, wrong, or indifferent for them to do it. I'm just saying with the climate and in the society in which we live, how you guys feel about it. And yes, you Mr. Paladin. Was that Paladin who made that comment? I agree with you. If you don't want to participate, if you don't like it, don't participate. I get it.
Brian, you said something interesting. You said you just brought this up just to discuss it, right?
That's it.
But, even I fall victim to how we've been trained by CNN, NBC, Fox News. You bring up this topic, and immediately it's like, oh, this is controversial, so you got to be on one side or the other.
Right.
And it's like, no, it's like you can talk about it. Like, yeah, I think it's bad, but...
That's a good segue to Jake. What do we always say at Drinks and Discussions?
What's that?
This is a place where you can discuss anything, and we're all going to be friends and say it in a nice way.
It's a safe place.
It's a safe place to say it.
We're all family here, man. Don't be shy.
I had these stones coming out of my saliva glands.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've seen those. Those are
If
horrible.
you want some pictures, I'll just... You said discuss
Are you
it.
talking about like the little white ones?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I know exactly
Oh.
what you're talking about. I've seen videos on YouTube where those are being extracted out of somebody's mouth, and I'm like, God, how does that happen?
I
Yeah,
know, it's
and
so
like those.
satisfying
Yeah.
to watch.
Oh, wait, what are they? Little white-
Isn't it like a bunch of sodium in your system?
Yeah,
you're,
yeah.
you're taking too much sodium in your blood in your diet or something.
Yeah, I believe it's the same thing, like kidney stones.
Yeah, it's kind of like a kidney stone.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read
But they
Mr.
smell really bad.
I'm going to read Mr. B real quick. Hey, Vegas Joker, by the way. Mr. B said he's got a headache and he's drinking straight absinthe over Splenda.
Really? Oh my God! With
Mr. B.
Splenda?
I'm not sure if he's joking when he says that, but that's what he said he's drinking. I'm not going to read the rest
So
of
have you
it.
guys ever had that before?
No.
Y'all know that like it kind
It's
of
illegal.
So absinthe tastes like black licorice, brother. So
it's
it's really
great.
popular in Europe, right? So typically, what you do when you prepare absinthe, you want to get a sugar cube, and there's like this little it's like a little screen that you put over the spoon, and you pour the absinthe in, and like let the absinthe melt the sugar cube. And if you drink enough of it, you're supposed to be able to see like this green fairy.
That's what he said. That's exactly what he said in the chat. He said something about a green fairy. I didn't read that part. I should have, but that's exactly what he said.
I don't think in the United
I've had it
States
before.
you can get the green fairy anymore. I believe it was Laudanum. Apparently in Paris you still can, because it's
Yeah.
Paris. Is it
It's
laudanum
wide
which
open.
they put in there?
I don't know.
I forgot the
Wasn't it
psychedelic.
Paris? Wasn't it Paris where they originated cognac from, or was it? It was somewhere in Europe that there, or was it? Where was it? Cognac originated. It was. I think it was in
French.
Paris.
Tonsil stones is what we were looking for, guys. On the other
Tonsil
top.
stones.
Tonsil stones. Yes.
I didn't mean to bring up that topic. Just let's forget I said it.
Yeah, but absinthe is really powerful. Like you definitely have the milder version where you might have to drink a lot to get to the fairy if you get it here. Over there, I think I don't know. Like after a normal drinking session, if you're about that life, you'll probably run into some fairies. But it tastes it's horrible. It is horrible.
Will the green fairy?
Are y'all talking about?
Kylie Minogue?
Are y'all talking?
Nick,
Are y'all talking about?
Nick.
Wait, will the
Are
green
y'all talking
fairy
about
do what?
hallucinations?
Yes.
Whether the green
Yeah,
fairy?
Yeah, that's the idea behind it. Again, I've only had it here in the States. I didn't try it when I went to Europe because I was solo traveling, and I didn't want to get attacked by the green fairy solo. So
Yeah, well, the green fairy, because I've seen the green fairy. It looks like Kylie Minogue, and it sings "The Hills Are Alive" with the sound of the
No, it sings "Fairies Wear Boots."
Yeah, I've seen
So-
it. I've seen it.
Live on Drinks and
Come
Discussions.
on.
And speaking of it,
live.
nobody got that movie reference. Okay.
No, I didn't get that one. Live on Drinks and
What's the sound of
Discussions.
music?
Moulin Rouge.
Listen, guys, live on Drinks and Discussions. I had already planned this out, but I'm changing the actual drink. So, in case Jeff, you are not aware, but Marcus and I we grew up together, basically, went to school together, and he has never had an alcoholic drink. Now, at some point
Whoa.
he is going to have an alcoholic beverage, and I always said take something fruity, but now I think it has to be absinthe, and it's going to let him see the green fairy, and we're going to do it live on
You're
Drinks and
trying to
Discussions.
kill me.
I actually,
He might see that green produce Zima at this point.
Yes, he probably would.
He
Zima.
might a couple of white claws. He's gonna be out.
I have a small bottle in my room on my piano, just because it's so gothic to have. But it's the U.S. version. It doesn't have the psychedelic in it.
I definitely understand it being gothic, man. It's that man. Wow,
Well, you
I
should
forgot about it.
Look at the wine you're drinking.
True.
Your gothic wine. Good choices.
You put it like that, sir.
You can't get anything past the professor. Can't get anything past the professor.
Right.
I'm a former goth kid in South Park.
Were you really goth growing up?
Oh yeah. The first time I saw that South Park episode, I was like, "Holy crap!" And even the tall guy with the curly hair. I had a friend who looked exactly like that. And we'd sit together all the way to high school, and then we'd go to clubs, we'd dance back and forth. Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, so I have a question. Is goth and emo, are those the same thing?
No.
Nope.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, goths turn emos because of these plants.
I have no idea either.
Wait. Back up. You said goths turn emo because of plants?
Yeah, plants. These evil plants, and they try to take all the goth people and make them emo. But us goth people know how to fight against that.
Okay.
So nobody watches South Park either.
No.
I mean,
It's been a minute.
They did a whole episode on goth versus emo. It was sort of a follow-up on their previous episode, which was goth versus the vampire kids. But no.
Man,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one.
Emos are spoiled rich kids, and goths are spoiled, depressed rich kids.
What's
Okay. So if you're poor, what is that called if you're poor?
Jane, what's the get them to
punk.
the Greek? What's the get them to the Greek drink? What's that? I'm seeing that in the chat. What's get them to the Greek? Anybody have heard of that drink?
Oh, that's a movie.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
what?
No, it's a movie.
No, get him
Jonah
to the Greek.
Hill?
Oh,
And Park that?
yeah, I saw the movie. I thought it was a drink. Maybe she's
No, I've never-
maybe I missed the comment. Maybe I missed the text, and I just saw that one part. Maybe she's referencing a
Oh.
drink in that movie. I must have missed it.
I thought they were doing like drugs at one point in that movie. They were smoking.
Mm.
There was a lot going on in Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah, I think so.
I got 22 kookaroos. 27, sir. I got 27 kookaroos. How many kookaroos you got?
I need to see that movie.
You know how many pair of Jordans 5 black kids wear?
It's not James Franco. It's the other. The one
It's Jonah Hill.
It's been a long time. I've
Jonah
only
Hill
seen
is
it
in Get
once.
Him to the Greek. And Russell Brand is also. Russell Brand is the
That's
rock.
the name.
That's in there, yeah.
I got you, Jane Blonde. They drink the absinthe with the Jeffrey.
I told
that
you
movie.
guys about the time I drank that
Jeffrey.
190 proof moonshine before,
I didn't
right?
want to put myself out there like that, but yeah.
I told you guys about that, right? That time that I drank 190 proof moonshine.
Don't think
Nice.
you did.
Oh man, that's you may as well just take the gas nozzle and put it in your mouth and squeeze the handle. That's about the extent of it. It burns.
Mm.
Oh, brother, I used to do like 151 and it would burn, so I can only understand 190. Matter of fact, in college, so I didn't drink in high school. I didn't drink until sophomore year of college. And I remember like we started off on like Jim Clear and Heaven Hill and Everclear.
Oh, that's hard.
And 151. So like till this day, I do not like like the fruit punch, Hawaiian punch. I do not like it to this day because that was the mix. Because I had to have a strong enough like liquid that was kind of thick enough to mask that taste.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like when you are a new drinker, like I don't have any concept of levels. It's like I just need to get there. So it needs to be strong but tolerable. And like man, Hawaiian punch is gross. Like if I drink red Hawaiian punch right now, I would still taste that. That's how bad it is.
Truth teller, you are correct. But what I'm thinking is, because I damn near got sick off the stuff. Now what I'm thinking is, it's not the heads. What's that stuff called? Yeah, it's called heads. The first round is called the heads, and that's the stuff that contains like methanol and all that. Because I got damn near pretty sick off it. When I drank that moonshine that I told you about, that was pretty strong. I'm pretty sure that was like the heads. That wasn't the hearts or anything like that. That was like the first round. And when you get like the heads, you don't want to drink that because it's got all those chemicals like methanol and all that stuff. You got to dump that stuff out. That's how the distilling process goes when you make moonshine. You got to get rid of that. And the hearts is where like all the good alcohol and the flavors and all that come through. But yeah, that's probably what I drank.
I used to really like corn whiskey, and the brand I would get is our local liquor store had it. It came in like a mason jar, and it kind of looked like it was moonshine. Moonshine. It might have even been called moonshine, but
what whiskey is when it's not aged. It basically is just moonshine.
Moonshine.
It basically is.
The woman I was dating at the time, who eventually became my wife, this was like the third date. She comes up to my house. Now she knew that I knew chemistry because she does. She knows a lot about that stuff. So I took the label off and like made it look like I made homemade whiskey because that's how smart I am at chemistry. Now I used to like the corn whiskey, so I was drinking it, but we were having a really good time, so I drank the whole bottle.
Wow.
And now I can never touch it. But this is why she was a keeper, because she knew that I was going to be sick the next day, and before I even woke up, I was like, here's some aspirin, and she made some like New Mexican egg dish. I was like, yep, you're a keeper. But I've never gonna have corn whiskey again.
Well, yeah, basically whiskey is moonshine. It's just how whiskey gets its color and its taste is they age it in a barrel.
In a barrel, yeah, the whiskey barrel.
But before it does that, it's a clear liquid. So it basically is moonshine is whiskey. It's just moonshine is a more like I wouldn't say pure type of alcohol, but it's not aged. They got to put it in the barrels, give it its color, its toast, its taste, and all that. It's got to age for about maybe 4 or 5 years in a barrel. And,
which one? You said methanol. There are two. There's methanol and there's ethanol. And here's my chemistry knowledge. I forget which one is like the one which will rot out your optic nerve, and which is the other one which some of you are having right now.
I don't know.
Ethanol is used to make gasoline, and it's also used in Lysol. Lysol is like 79% ethanol, and gasoline that you put in your car is only like 10% ethanol.
Because like rubbing alcohol, that's the bad type. Don't drink the rubbing alcohol.
When you make moonshine, the first round that comes off is called the heads, and it's got methanol in it.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, it's called methanol. You don't want to drink that.
That's why you can. But the hand sanitizer has the safe one. That's why, if you watch crazy reality TV, like you can get drunk off of hand sanitizer, and it doesn't kill you.
Well, I mean, like you see that when like in prison movies as well, where they got like Lysol can and this spraying and they're trying to get a hit of it that way. So you still see that.
This is great topics because I didn't know there were so many knowledgeable individuals here when it concerns alcohol. Jake can actually make some good bathroom brew. Some Rayford's bathtub recipe. What's not Rayford? It's what's the Life guy? Eddie Murphy's character in Life. Ruford, is that Ruford's special recipe?
Clyde and
Ray. It was Ray. Ray's bathtub brew. Ray.
Now, me and my dad have always wanted to try to make beer and liquor, so we're gonna definitely give that a try and see how that goes. So
I'm glad
you brought that up.
You can ship alcohol.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's like heavily taxed though.
Tell them it's lotion.
You can't even get wine sent to you in Arkansas unless they recently changed it.
They changed a lot now. You can have I'm telling you, these little bottles came to me FedEx. alcohol. These little.
Wait, but you're in Texas though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in Arkansas, that's not a thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. Not in the Bible Belt. Mm-mm.
I went to Arkansas for 3 weeks for work. I think I told you the story. And I usually I fly in on a Sunday, so work starts on a Monday. So I fly in and I go to the grocery store and I want to have a bottle of wine when I go back to the hotel, and that's when I learned I was in Arkansas. It's like you can't buy that. Look, what?
Real quick, James the
Okay.
Mick. James, hold on one second, real quick,
I'm
Jeff.
gonna give you a hack on that.
One second, real quick. James the Mick. Go to their main page. Subscribe to the Drinks and Discussions sports page. That is where we're going to be talking nothing but pro and college football. We're going to hopefully start doing that on Wednesday nights. That's one of the nights that Marcus is available, and we're going to probably do it in a different location because I've got a couple of pro football players that we're going to be interviewing. That's going to be coming down the pipe. Hopefully, I'm going to bet we're going to do it before the kickoff of the NFL season because I want to do a whole show on just the preview of the NFL season. And you guys, if you're a sports fanatic or you want to talk sports, make sure you subscribe to Drinks and Discussions Sports. Now, what were you going to say, Jeff? Sorry. Jeff, you had something you were going to say?
He's muted.
Oh.
What was I about to say? What were we talking about again?
A lot. I don't recall.
Drink, discussion.
Yeah, Drinks and
There's a
Discussions.
minor in there, I think.
Megan's back.
Okay, Nick,
Herschel.
I remember now. No. You said if you go to Arkansas, all right. So Sunday hacks for alcohol. This is better if you're going to be like in Little Rock area. Number one, if you know anybody that has access to a military base, they can buy alcohol 7 days a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Really?
in Arkansas, yep, absolutely, because it's private, right? Now in Arkansas, specifically like in Little Rock, we have distilleries, right? So
Yeah.
it's like a little loophole. If you have a distillery, you can actually sell alcohol on Sunday. So one of them is Rocktown Distillery.
Mhm.
They have some very great vodkas. So on Sunday you can go there because they're considered like a restaurant. So it's some kind of weird little loophole they
Yes.
have
Right.
where
Mm-hmm.
you can buy. So
Because
that was what we had to do, like if we wanted it.
Yes, that's
a
exactly
hotel
right.
bar was able to
didn't
sell
know
me drinks.
Wow.
I didn't know that about a military base. In fact, when I was there, I spent all three. I wasn't in Little Rock. I was in Pine Bluff. It was actually at a military station.
You was long way away.
Yeah.
And it was at a military installation. So I don't know with my CAT card if I was able to go. Well, I could have asked one of the people I was working with. Then I could have bought it on Sunday. But that's good
You
to
probably-
know.
you probably could.
would have had to be on base at the PX though, so you wouldn't have been able to just go to a liquor store and get it because there wouldn't have been one that was open. But now Arkansas has, we've uplifted our regulations on gambling, so you can just go to the casino and
nice.
get your drink on. Like
Yes.
now,
Uh-huh.
they don't do free alcohol. You know how most places, like, if you're playing, you get free alcohol or something like
Yes.
that. Yet, like in Pine Bluff, because their hotel isn't open, at least the last time I was there, which was in November, since their hotel isn't open, they can't give you free alcohol, because if they do serve free alcohol, I guess they have to have a way for you to legally and responsibly say, I can't drive, let me just go get a room. But because they
Yeah.
don't have the hotel, they can't give it for free. But it is dumb cheap. Like I was like, hey, first round on me. And it was probably like 15 of us. And that
nice.
bill was like $18, bro. No, it was like $18. And I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
I got the next 3 rounds. I'm thinking, it's 15 of us. It's probably going to be like,
Baller.
maybe 100. I didn't know it was that cheap. I had no idea.
And
And when I did, I was like, yo, everybody cheap.
We got the
California,
birthday girl in the house.
All right.
Oh, hey, man.
Hey, me.
We got it.
Happy
We got it.
birthday.
We got it. We got her on the panel. So let's all give a very healthy round of happy birthday to Megan. Sing with us if you're in the chat. You guys ready? A 1, a 2, a 3. Happy birthday to you.
To you.
Happy birthday
to you.
You guys know how to get in the
Happy birthday, dear Megan.
Happy
Megan.
Therefore,
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Brian's trying so hard not to crack up.
Happy birthday
Wait a-
to you.
Thank you guys.
That was probably the worst rendition of Happy Birthday.
Definitely was.
well, it's great because
But you're gonna remember that. You're gonna remember it.
One can't forget it.
No,
It's like when
no
somebody
matter how
says,
hard you try.
"You can't get mad at
plus
it."
it's going to be on the internet forever now.
It
I
is on the
expect the
internet
same thing on my
forever.
birthday.
When's your birthday, Jake?
Wait, let me-
2nd of November.
Okay.
okay, all right, it's coming up. My birthday just passed.
Do you remember the 2nd of November?
No, I was gonna say September. You said you switched it up. I didn't know it was the remix, Marcus. There she is. There she is.
Wait, is Meg actually coming on camera?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
my camera fell.
Alright, it's
You
a
know
little-
what?
It's a little blurry. Okay, we'll get this.
Wait for it.
I just realized.
Welcome,
There she is.
There we go.
welcome.
Welcome,
And your drink of
welcome,
the day
welcome.
is-
Oh yeah, I didn't grab that. Let me grab my drink.
All right.
Yeah, you got a whole birthday thing going on. Your drink
Yeah,
should be
it's
lit.
a birthday.
Yeah.
Just grab the bottle.
Right, you should light it on fire and then take the shot.
I like your
Don't
top.
do that.
Thank you. I'll be right
matches
back.
her
I'm gonna go
glasses.
grab something to drink. Hold on.
Come on,
Okay.
Chad. You
We'll
guys
be here.
wish you could just sing as good as we did.
You know, Brian, we should. Speaking of Arkansas, I mean, this is actually could be an interesting topic. The thing which fascinates me about when I was in Arkansas, because I tell them I live in California, and they think that I live in Red Russia and everything's to crap, and but I find the irony that in California you can buy liquor I think after 7 a.m. all the way up to 2 a.m. And I can buy it any day a week, and it can be sold by private people. But in Arkansas, the government tells you when you can and cannot drink.
It's a blue law state in Arkansas where you can't buy certain things. But Texas is the same way too. You can't buy liquor on Sundays. You used to not be able to buy beer or wine. They changed that, and then they changed the law. I think you can't buy beer and wine in Arkansas still in Little Rock. You can't buy anything.
Yeah, right. Well, you can't buy it at the stores, but restaurants are
Right,
still wide
right.
open to.
Yeah, but you can't buy it. Like if on Sunday, if you miss your drinks or your beers for the game, you just SOL. You can't go out and buy it.
Yeah, Saturday and midnight, it's a wrap because you have transitioned into
that's
Sunday.
it.
And
That's
some
right.
Clubs,
That's
some
it.
clubs
It's
will
over.
actually close down because they can't serve alcohol past a certain time, and that's their biggest moneymaker. So there's like, well, shoot, if we can't make money at the bar, then what's the point of us? This little $5-10 cover charge is not going to pay any bills, right? It's you racking up
Right.
70, 80, $100 buying rounds, right? So you'll see people close down early on Saturday sometimes.
So Megan,
Does the
or
party,
so
does the party start earlier?
James Blonde is saying in North Carolina it's the
Oh,
same way
that's-
in North Carolina.
Same, and in Virginia too.
And Virginia.
It's like that. But that's what fascinates me. Is let's look at these states: Virginia, Arkansas, Texas.
Hold on one second, Nick. Hold on one second. Hold your roll. Let's all give a nice. So we ruined the birthday. Let's give a healthy, hearty cheer to the birthday
Oh,
girl.
yes.
She's got her drink. Cheers to Miss Megan.
Salute.
Salute.
Cheers.
Can't really see it.
Ooh, I think I need to blur my background.
Unblur it.
Well, I mean, like this Japanime mall thing behind me is just not.
Hey,
It's not working. For me.
It's almost like you're in an action movie and somebody's pushing you off and you're about to fall in the middle of the watch little thing that they sell the perfume and
Right.
watches in the middle.
It's making me nervous.
Oh, okay.
There,
My
that's
volume.
better.
Alright.
That's better.
People in the chat.
What was that, Megan?
I was asking people in the chat how my volume was.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, you sound
I
good to
hear you
me.
fine.
Yeah.
So let's go to the birthday girl. Give her a little attention because she's late to the party. What have you done on your birthday? Anything interesting? Anything rated PG that you can tell us?
Not so much rated PG. So
Oh.
other than that,
rated R?
yeah, rated R. I'm not gonna tell you
Okay,
Some-
nowadays, MA 17 is pretty risky nowadays. You used to have to wait, stay up late night to catch that. Now it's like, that's 17, they can get it.
Well, as some people, some of you guys on panel don't know, but I tested positive for COVID last week on Thursday.
Sorry.
Well, the boyfriend and I both test positive, so at least I get to hang out with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been just like now I'm starting to feel it.
Oh wow.
I was
Listen,
asymptomatic until
okay,
Monday.
I got questions on you. Anybody else here have experience having COVID?
Nope.
Twice. This is my second.
People
Okay.
call me Novid.
Oh.
Came close.
Let me ask you this, because like I thought this was just a one-off thing for me until I mentioned it in one of my groups the other day, and somebody else was like, "Yeah, me too." I could not dream when I had COVID, and it was the weirdest thing. I was stuck in a dream loop, and like I have some very vivid, lucid type dreams. So for me to get stuck in the loop, it was so weird. So like, let's say like Megan and I were interacting in the dream, and I said, "Hey Megan, I have this bottle of wine. You want to buy it for $20?" And she said, "Yeah." Shoot. I give her the wine. She gives me the $20, and now I got the $20 in my hand, and I'm like, "I need that bottle of wine. Hey, you want to trade back?" And like that was it. The entire dream, I would get stuck in the loop. And anytime, if I escaped and I somehow made it to Big Jake had $20, and I had the bottle of wine still. So I could like never get out of this loop, and that stayed the entire time I had COVID. I could not dream, and I was stuck in a dream loop. And I thought that was the weirdest thing ever until somebody else actually corroborated them having the similar experience. So I don't know if that was like a one-off thing, or did y'all have any symptoms like that?
I didn't have any weird dream symptoms. When I first caught COVID, it was December of 2020, so it was before any vaccinations. It was when people were still dying in like large numbers over it.
Hey, Marcus.
But I have the long COVID from that. And so this round of COVID, I was asymptomatic until Sunday.
Marcus, I got a surprise for you.
What's that?
Well, I got a surprise for everybody.
Is that
It's
Mountain
the hard
Dew
stuff. The hard stuff.
It's
Yeah.
the hard
what is
Mountain
it?
Dew. It's
It's
the
got-
hard Mountain
Nice.
Dew.
It's got alcohol in it.
I finally pulled it out of the fridge.
Really?
Yep.
So
First
What
taste.
kind of alcohol? Is it like a Four Loko at this point, I guess?
Sort of.
So let me. I'm gonna go.
Right.
I'm gonna go back to what we were talking about, because I know I want Megan to give a little bit more on this as well. I have experienced kind of like foggy brain syndrome, if that's a thing, since I've had COVID, where I've always been very sharp when it comes to, especially the things that I do for my job. But then there's sometimes I kind of get going, and then I'm like, wait a minute, what was I about to do? And then I'm like, okay. I had to stop and kind of like go back and retrace some steps, and then I'm like, okay, now I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That
No, the
might be
brain
an
fog.
age thing, too.
What were you saying?
No, like, no.
He
Like,
says the
no,
age
no,
thing.
No shade, no cap on that. Because, like, I don't have any residual effects of COVID at all. Like, I went to the doctor because I got scuba certified, so I had to go through and get the whole scan and everything done. So no residual effects on the body or anything like that. But I have experienced brain fog, what I feel like for the first time in my life, and it was the weirdest thing. And I'm just sitting there like, what is this? Like looking around like, where are my thoughts? Where's my go-to actions? You know, that just, you know, that activate go kind of thing. And it was the weirdest thing ever. And apparently, like when you get over 40, which I am now, like that stuff starts to happen. And I'm like, this is what brain fog is. Because I've heard people say that, but I never, you know, you don't know what you don't know. I have no context of that experience until it happened. And I'm like as blurry as my background is, imagine like, you know, when you see this coming in the frame, it's clarity and thought, and then it's like, wait, what? So people who can see, that's a perspective of what brain fog looks like around me. It's just like, I'm here, but ain't nothing else here.
Megan, what
Yeah.
Megan knows about this? Go ahead, Megan.
I totally forgot what I was saying.
Brain fog.
Yeah. I was saying something, and then you had to talk, so I let you talk.
My bad, Megan. Go ahead.
I don't remember what I was saying.
It's a thing though. It's really a thing, and there are
We were
times
talking
even
about
I get,
COVID and we were
I
talking
get,
about brain
I'll,
fog.
I'll even get,
Can't listen to two people at the same time.
I'll
Brian.
even
Go ahead.
get tongue tied sometimes when I'm on a Zoom call, and I have to make sure now that I slow my speech when I'm speaking down dramatically just to make sure that it's actually coming out the way I anticipate it to come out or I want it to come out. And I never used to do that. I never had to do that before, where I'm really making a conscientious effort to really gather my thoughts and speak slowly so that I'm relaying the information that I need to relay in the way that I want to have it relayed.
Yeah, it's very frustrating because before I used to be pretty like quick-witted and like pretty, a fast thinker. And then when you're just not thinking of the super common words that you want to use to express, whatever thought you're on, you're just like, it's a word. It's super common. You just feel like such a dumbass, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, it really is.
And it has gotten better over time. I think continuing to exercise your brain, like if you don't have a job that makes you have to think and problem solve, then just doing brain games on like your phone and such really does help. You gotta keep working that brain.
Stay stimulated.
And the other thing that I got with long COVID was the fatigue. Fatigue would kick my ass, and it would actually impede my work. I'm not really, I've got some fatigue, but I don't know if that's from the long COVID or the new COVID. Because this new COVID is totally different, absolutely different than 2 years ago.
Were you still asymptomatic for this one?
Until like Sunday. Now I'm achy and I'm tired, and my throat hurts, and I have a cough and a fever.
That's what happened with my mom and my brother and my sister-in-law. Before my niece was born, they got it twice. My mom got it on Mother's Day, and then she got better, and then she got it a month later, and they basically felt the same. And they had their vaccines too, and they still got it. But then again, it's not gonna stop you from catching it. Go ahead, Megan. I'm done.
No, it was. I haven't gotten the second booster, but I probably should. I will now after this. I just haven't thought of it.
Yeah, I got the 2, but I didn't get my booster yet. I've been fortunate enough to not catch it, but I've been exposed to many of my coworkers and family members, and I'm like, man, how have I not caught it yet?
Well, like you were saying in the chat, you wear a mask.
Even then, that's not going to stop it, but still.
If you're wearing the mask properly, the probability of getting COVID goes down significantly. And that, if you just follow the proper steps, and just like you said, if that wasn't mitigating COVID, then surgeons and medical people would be dying at the same rate as, the general public, but you just don't see that.
Right. Yeah, I feel sorry for people that catch it, man, because, what I've been told, in my mom's words, the way she felt, it felt like someone was holding hot coals under her lungs, like it would hurt to breathe.
Yeah, my parents caught it, my aunt and uncle, my cousins, almost everybody in my family caught it. Now, I never caught it.
It's funny, I was just having this conversation because I usually go to the store. My wife is a big thing because we have a 4-year-old, and she wants to make sure that we don't bring anything, and he's exposed. My wife is also a cancer survivor, so I'm going to make sure that she's okay and doesn't catch it. I'm the only one in our household that's been tested positive for COVID. And when I got COVID, I secluded myself in a part of the house that they weren't even allowed. She would come to the door, leave my food at the door, and walk away. And she would wear gloves and a mask anytime she came near the area where I'm at. But now, when you think it was gone, I'm going to the store now, and I still see people a lot more than usual wearing the mask again when they are shopping.
Yeah, I went to Trader Joe's this morning, and everybody was wearing a mask.
Megan,
a lot of my coworkers still wear theirs.
What are you asking me, Megan, in the chat? If it's okay with me for what?
Fluffy's talking about Jane coming up on channel because he thinks that like we would be at odds, but I'm just like, I got no problem with Jane. Like, I don't see the big deal.
I don't know Jane other than the chat, but if anybody would like to be on the chat,
do you have any mud?
Any who?
Megan?
Mud,
Just KY jelly, Nick.
Oh,
No Vaseline.
wow.
No Vaseline.
Oh, wait. I thought you were going to talk about the R stuff.
Yeah, that's the R stuff right there.
Oh, is that rated R?
No. I think that's PG. It's PG. NC. No, PG 17. PG 13.
MA 17.
let me clarify if anybody's offended by that. Sorry, Jane. Don't take it the wrong way.
So before we move on, because I know we've got other things to talk about too, but Marcus wanted to say one more thing about the Peewee coach that was shot and killed in front of his Peewee team here in the Dallas area.
Yeah, Brian. When you first mentioned that, I was going to say, I don't know if you know, but Aqib Talib went to the same high school, and I was going to say it's you and I, but I forgot. You didn't go to high school, but he went to the same high school as me. I think he graduated in like 2003, 2004. I think that's when he graduated. But
I did not know
he had a gig. But what's that?
I didn't know he was a Berkner guy.
Yeah. Yep.
Had
He
no
did.
idea.
And of course, he had a really good career in the NFL, but he was a little suspect at times.
Yeah,
But
he was gangster.
he had a gig with Amazon Prime, locked and loaded for this season on Thursday Night Football. But I recently heard that he had to resign from that position.
Yeah, because he was in there he was egging this thing on. It was his brother, and he was right next to his brother as his brother shot the coach.
Right, yeah, and that was the story that I heard too. So it's an all around sad situation, but in some ways it's almost not surprising considering his
His MO.
his yeah.
Speaking
But again, just to be clear, it's Aqib Talib is not the suspect. His brother Yaqub Talib
Right.
is the suspect that turned himself in.
correct. Speaking of sports, and again, this is not a sports talk. Sorry, I'm going to rerun this. This is something that has something to do with sports, but it has more implications other than just the sport in which they are playing. This was brought to my attention today, and I didn't see this until today. I want to show you the video, and then I want you guys to tell me what you think you see, and then also, if you've heard about it, I want your perspective. So let's start by showing you guys the video, and I am dying because we have a very diverse crowd in our chat, and I really want to get you guys' opinion on what your take is regarding this particular video. And here we go.
Leading the Central. They finish up that three-game series at Busch, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, ESPN, Deportes, and Radio. And we'll start with 6 Eastern baseball tonight's Sunday night countdown. Why not, right? When in Rome. They taking the stuffing out of a stuffed animal. Just little leaguers being little leaguers right there. Hey, next week's Sunday night baseball. Leading the
So, okay.
I know.
I'm going to leave it there, and then I want you guys to just to kind of tell me what you think you're seeing. How does it make you feel some kind of way? Have you seen this story, and what's your perspective on the whole narrative that's going on around regarding this?
Well, I don't know what the story is.
Okay,
Go.
let me give you some background. This is a black teammate on this little league team. I'm not sure if he's the only black, so I don't want to misquote and say he's the only black team.
There's
But-
another black arm right there, so no.
No. What you're seeing here, they're all white on this in this video.
Central. They finish up that three-game series at Busch, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, ESPN.
These are all white teammates there. As you can see, he comes down, and they're all white. They're all white.
Just really tan.
Yeah. So they're taking out stuffing from the stuffed toys that were giveaways, and they're placing them on this black kid's head. And from the smiles on all the kids' faces that are actually doing it, the kid that's sitting there getting it done doesn't look all that happy to me.
Yeah, is it like, did he mess up or something? And that's just like how they're. like a punishment. So what's the whole purpose of doing that?
That's
Is it
what
because it sticks in his hair?
that's what we're trying to figure out. And if you are familiar with the whole, slave movement and black people in cotton, the message here is, again, to me, the optics of this whole situation looks terrible.
What city is this again, or state?
It was in a little league game
Pennsylvania.
in Pennsylvania. It was a little league baseball game.
Yeah, Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
I'm not sure how to feel about that.
If I knew kind of the context of why they were doing it, if it's razzing or if it's just because, hey, look, this foam sticks in this kid's hair and that's weird, then
Well,
then it
that's
doesn't.
weird
Then that
too.
sucks.
I mean,
Like I'm like, is he gonna imitate a coach? Like maybe like the coach had white hair, gray hair, and he's gonna be imitating the coach. I need more context to what's going on, because like you can take any little clip of something and take it grossly out of context and make it into something that it wasn't. So I would definitely need to see and understand more to give a judgment on that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm
on the same page.
Yeah, it's
Well-
like there's not a whole lot of context here. Maybe they're just doing it to be funny, or if they're doing it just to prove a point, or
Well, let me give you my perspective, if I may. And hello, Miss Mandy. Thank you for coming and joining us. We appreciate that. My perspective looking at this as a minority black male, I wouldn't want anybody putting cotton in my son's hair. Even though I'm in a mixed relationship or marriage, I still wouldn't want any white Caucasian kid putting cotton, symbolizing the struggles of slaves and the plight of slaves, in my child's hair. Never.
yeah, that doesn't seem very right to do. I mean, it's just like I said, I'm not sure how to feel about it, but still, I agree with you too, Brian. That ain't cool.
I understand that everybody needs to see this in context, which I agree with. But I mean, to be honest, everybody's going to see what they want to see, even with context. And this is actually where I think optics do matter, because even if it was a joke, let's say, they make fun of him because he dresses up like his grandma. That's all we were doing, because they're going to say something like that, and then again, it's going to become some debate. Here's where optics is important. So Williamsport, Pennsylvania, is actually the birthplace of the Little League, and I believe they still have their headquarters there. Now, I don't see how any educated adult could not see how this could be, like, if they do say it's not what you think it is, how could they not see the optics in this? I mean, this is not gonna look good.
Right, and that's why I'm not going to place. And I think the consensus on the panel here is that there's not enough context. We don't. I believe that it was probably innocent with these young kids because they don't know. But where I put the blame is on the network. Why is the network showing this?
That's right.
They should have cut off.
So that's and Marcus hit the nail on the head, because that's the backlash right now is on ESPN. And when ESPN saw this, they didn't cut away. And when you're talking about context, there was no context. This was just a intro into like a promo for upcoming games, and how they do like crowd shots. This was like one of those shots they would just happen to show these kids in the stand that were not playing in that night's matchup. So in my perspective, again, this is just me talking, and Miss Mandy said the exact same thing. She has a mixed race son, and if they did that to her kid, she'd be pissed off. This was not something that they were sharing. Right. They weren't sharing this joke with other kids. They were just doing it to the only black child that was in that shot, in that group. I didn't see any other black children in that group. And I'm going to tell you this for one thing. Parents are failing our children, because as a person currently that plays, my son gets on these video games with VR and you can interact with other people. I also play some of these games, And I'm gonna tell you, there are kids in these games, and I have an avatar that looks like me. I'm brown skinned. They will get on there and they will call me the N-word,
yeah.
this, that, and the other in a video game. And these kids can't be more than 9, 10, or 11. And they're saying the N-word in a video game. So these baseball players, I'm not saying that they should take the full blame. I'm telling you, I have a lot to say when it comes to raising kids in today's society, because I think we're a long way away from people still are getting away from treating minorities in a manner in which they think that they are superior. And this shows me that these kids think that they're superior to this black kid, in my opinion.
I concur.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we're going to get more videos. Obviously, they have multiple cameras at this game, and of course, people have cell phones. So we'll see what happens. But I truly believe that it's just going to be whatever anybody wants to see. It will be us versus them, and that'll be the end of it. And we'll just wait for the next ridiculous event that we do.
So I agree, truth teller. Kids do learn that vile and hate-filled. They get that from their parents or adults. It might not be from their parents, but it could be from someone else that they look up to, someone in their circle. It could be an aunt or uncle or something that they are getting that from. The context here, and again, I'm just going to tell you what I've read, because before I shared this, is that all the videos that I have seen are all of the same thing that we showed tonight. And the only narratives that I try to keep out of when I show these videos are, they were saying, why did the ESPN share this? Or why did they comment that this is just little leaguers being little leaguers, and when in Rome, you do what Romans do? There was a comment that they said that on the ESPN commentator, which I thought was tasteless. And they actually had a meeting with the parents. Everybody involved got involved with these parents, and the parents tried to play it off and just saying that this was in poor taste, but they were just goofing around. But as you can see, nobody else has their cap off, getting the stuffing that looks like cotton put on their head.
No. And you know what else? I mean, really, at the end of the day, it even goes beyond racism. I mean, you just explained how cruel these kids can be. He's now a national celebrity, this kid. And just imagine all of the bullying which he's going through right now, and will probably continue until, hopefully, he gets to junior high or high school and the kids around him are more mature.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, that's the real victim here. And there's really no solution.
Good night, Michelle. Now, real quick. Now, if this young man gave him, I'm not saying it makes it right, but what if he was like, yeah, this is okay to do, go ahead and do it?
Even if he did that,
Yeah.
people are still, he's going to be bullied over it.
So it's like you can have friends, guys. It's like Trey with us. Trey's the weak link in our group, and so we pick on Trey because
Hey, don't say we. Don't say we, Brian.
Trey's the scapegoat.
I've seen how big Trey is. I'm on your side, Trey.
That's true. But it's like when you always have that one group, one person in your group that you just think can take it, and he's not necessarily the strongest, the fastest, or the most talented. And so people, we bring them in, but you still kind of razz them a little bit. I think that's what I'm seeing here. I may be wrong, but I'm just on the outside looking in, just offering my perspective. I'm not saying these kids are racist. I don't want anybody to go back and say, hey, Brian thinks all these white kids are racist. That's not what I'm saying. Megan, thoughts?
It's hard to say without the context. And I did miss about the last 2 minutes of what you guys were saying.
Oh, but if you were just looking at the video from what you saw, how does the optics look to you?
Well, the kid just the look on the kid's face says it all. Like, he's not in a good place, and just that alone tells me, like, oh, you guys should stop. Like, that kid's hurting.
Oh yeah, he looked like he was thinking, oh man, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he was enjoying it, though, he's never going to live it down now.
Right, Jeff, what do you got to say, Jeff? You're on mute.
Yeah, man. I really think it's a teachable moment on both sides. Even if it was done without ill intent, from an innocent, just playful nature. Maybe none of these kids have ever been subject to what racism or slavery is, and maybe they truly did not know, and it was just a prank or whatever the case may be. But I think more than anything, it's a time for the parents to really sit them down and help them understand the way of the world, and we don't necessarily have to go down the path of talking about critical race theory and all that stuff, but a lot of times this stuff gets swept under the rug because people think because slavery doesn't exist anymore, there's no more racism, right? And I remember on a post, I saw this guy, he was like 18 years old. And I knew how old he was, but nobody else did. So at the rate that people were coming to him, they couldn't understand like how somebody could even think this way. And I let it go on for a little bit because it wasn't like they were like at his throat, like, wishing ill intent on him, but people just really like, wait, how could you even say this or think this way? So after a little bit, I was like, guys, he's only 18. And it was like, oh.
Right.
Okay, so this is the naivete of him thinking not, he just doesn't know what he doesn't know. And I think part of it, when I see this, it's like, could it be one of those things where they didn't know? Like I said, my first response was, is he about to go imitate an old coach? We if we played sports, we probably had an old gray-haired coach that was coaching us. They probably should have retired a long time ago. I don't know, but just kind of playing the video and looking at him, he's not looking enthused about it. So now is this a prank? Did he lose the bet? And it's like, dang, I lost this bet. I told him I was going to hit a home run. Now I got to get cotton on my head. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I need more context to it, but I think it's a teachable moment for the parents to sit them down and let them know what's really real. Because in the wrong case, that could be traumatizing going forward for that little boy.
You said something that I want to reiterate. A teachable moment, and that's kind of some of the things that we bring up on these conversations, is because sometimes if you don't see it and you're not exposed to it, you might not know what is going on. But now that you see that these things still exist, it might be something that you can engage someone. It could be a younger person, an older person, or someone the same age, and you can have these types of conversations in your own community to find out how it's being perceived in your own communities. Because at the end of the day, I could always think of something the way I see it, and everybody on the panel is going to see it completely different. And that doesn't make me wrong, right, or indifferent. Everybody's entitled to their own perspective because we see things through different eyes and different backgrounds and different experiences. But again, that's one of the reasons why I think it's a good idea to come together and have these conversations to get people's perspective. Because sometimes you got to talk me off the ledge. I'm telling you. Megan has talked me off the ledge a couple of times. Jeff has talked, Marcus, everybody's talked me off the ledge when I think that I know it all and I've got this opinion, and then all of a sudden I feel, oh yeah, I'm wrong about that, and I didn't see it that way.
If those parents of those kids explain to those children why it was wrong and they learn something, that actually could do more good than debating whether it was racist or this or that, because now all of a sudden
right.
10 kids, they're going to keep that forever and then hopefully transfer it onto their kids. But, this is America. Who knows if that's going to happen?
I hope so. I mean, like you said, they should be teaching their kids. Yeah, that is not. That's wrong, And like Jeff said, that kid did not look like he was enjoying himself.
No.
He just looked like, hey man, this shit sucks. Why are they doing this? And it goes, and like I said before, it doesn't make it right, but I also ask, what if he gave them permission? But I know that doesn't make it right, but
Yeah, and to be clear, you actually mentioned it. It's not the children who committed the racist act, because, they may not know any better.
Well, they were probably told to do that by some upper hand.
Yeah, but call me a pessimist, but I think that teachable moment for many, well, I don't want to say many, but for some, could be the opposite, which is, look, son or daughter, this group of people claims that everything is racist because they just want a handout, and then that's going to become their teachable moments, and that's what America is these days. So who knows?
I hope everybody can learn from it. That's
An interesting perspective. So I just found this on Twitter. I don't know if I have screen share capabilities.
you do. You can.
Okay. I want to show this, and let's see if it changes anything.
Take a look. Interesting.
Oh, this is like
Can y'all see that?
going on now.
Yeah, zoom in on that.
Was this a setup?
Yeah, I'm
I
trying
was
to
gonna say, is that a real picture?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if it's a manipulated photo or not.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't even look like the same kid.
Well, I mean, like, if you go back and look at it, it does. If you're looking at the facial features of the kid, I mean, he has a slender face. You see him looking down more.
Push 7 Eastern 4 ESPN Deportes and Radio, and we'll start with 6 Eastern baseball tonight. Sunday
Okay,
night.
I'm looking at something. Now go back to the photo. I'm looking at seat numbers. Now look at those numbers. Look at your photo. Scroll down. Did they show any seat numbers there?
No, I can't. See
No,
Okay.
no, they're just up there.
It looks like that kid had like a mohawk, and the other kid had it like all over.
That's true.
Head.
Because what they were putting on him was not a mohawk.
Yeah, it was like full head.
Right.
But
we don't know the timing of when that
but also
picture was taken either.
I can see. But listen, unless I see the actual video, because if somebody's got that, the cameras probably didn't catch it. But yeah, that looks like it's way all over his head. But at the end of the day, they could have said, okay, we did this one guy, so now let's do another guy, and the cameras didn't catch it. The other guy,
That's a good
right?
point. But you know what? Even if it is innocent, it still is a teachable moment because, and this is a good example where I think people sometimes may legitimately do behavior where they don't intend to offend anybody, but they're just so completely clueless that they did it anyway.
True.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot, brother. I was in college, and this girl asked me what language did I grow up speaking. I grew up in Arkansas, and I was like, what do you mean? I spoke English. She's like, yeah, but no, but like, what's your language though? And I'm like, English. And
English.
she, in her mind, because I was black, like I spoke like some like tribal clicking of the tongue type language, and her roommate was looking. Her roommate was Indian, Native American. I'm black, she's white, and her roommate is looking like, I cannot believe this is coming out of your mouth. Like, what are you even saying?
Well,
Granted, she was drinking, So in her mind, I guess it's like, let me figure out like how this whole thing works. And at first, my initial response was like, what in the world? But it's like some people, in their naivety, really do not know, and it's almost there's an element of innocence in what they're saying because they've never been exposed to somebody of another race or really ever even have a conversation to understand I'm human just like you. I grew up in Arkansas in the country speaking English just like you did, but it's like but how do you talk to them? I'm like, we're having conversations. What do you mean? Sometimes people just don't know. And it was a teachable moment at that point.
I think that's Arkansas. I mean, ironically, when I was there, one of the people on the base asked me, so where are you from? So I said, well, I'm from San Diego. And then he goes, no, originally.
Well,
Kentucky?
Can I change
because
it?
they just assumed that I'm not an American.
Well, let me change the narrative a little bit and take it off of race. Okay, because we're looking at what our eyes perceive to tell a story when we don't know the full story, and we can all jump to conclusions based upon what we are seeing. So, if you saw those kids spitting in a direction, that seemed as if it was being spat upon an older man or older gentleman, and all you saw was from an angle that they were spitting, but they were spitting off in a a field that wasn't on the actual older person, but the camera angle made it seem as if they were accosting this older gentleman. Would you jump to the same conclusions? Probably, right? Without the context.
Yeah.
We're imperfect. We sometimes jump to conclusions when we don't know the whole story. And we try not to, lay these things out, or our perspectives out as fact, but we are trying to do it as in a way that, it just sparks conversation.
I think it becomes a teachable moment. I mean, explain to the children why, the rest of the country thought this might be racist, and then they learn something.
True story. I agree with that. But I still say Trey's racist. Just letting you know, everybody know, when you see Trey on the podcast, Trey, we call him the big racist.
He hates the Martians.
I didn't say it, Trey. It wasn't me.
That was my mic turn.
Go ahead, Jake.
No, I was with Marcus. I'm on that. I didn't say it side. That's why I was like, I'm turning my.
So
I'm all about human first.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah. Right.
Martians, we hate them.
Well, I knew we were gonna. I said we were gonna talk about the heavy stuff, but there was something else that I wanted to bring up that's more of a lighter subject that I want to get everybody's take on. And I know we've already said happy birthday to Megan, but we've got some other congratulatory things to say, and that is to my main man, and he's introduced himself to you guys and the Drinks and Discussions. He's the OG of Drinks and Discussions, Jeff. While he was riff-raffing all over the world, going from country to country, he and his wife, Jonna, had a baby girl. Mm-hmm. So, a hearty congratulations to you and Jonna for the baby girl. I know you're in Mexico, and we haven't not had a chance to be introduced to her, but make sure you tell your wife, from all of us on this panel and in Drinks and Discussions, that we are beyond ecstatic that you have welcomed that baby girl into your life. It will change you, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. I think she's getting changed right now. I'm gonna see if I can bring Baby J in here and introduce y'all to my little princess, man. Like, for the fathers out there, you get it. For the people who are not fathers, man, like, it is crazy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It is absolutely insane. The whole birthing process, like, is an amazing experience. Like, I'm not a squeamish dude. Like, for me, I wanted to like physically catch the baby, and it happened exactly like that. I mean, it was, and the first hands that touched the baby were mine, right? So it was really cool to be able to go through that moment, and then just to see the transitions of her. When you have kids, it'll absolutely change your perspective on a lot of things, man. So I'm gonna try to bring her in there. Matter of fact, let me step to see if she's changed. So I'll bring her in. So she say, "Hey, Brian, you haven't seen me yet."
I'm guessing
I saw the
this is your
pictures.
first one, then, Jeff, right?
Oh yeah, that first one, man.
Well, congratulations.
She came a couple of days before Father's Day, so great gift.
You got a lot of congrats
Right.
going out there in the chat for you. If you I don't know if you're, did you switch over to the YouTube and see the chat? Because if you didn't, there are some congratulations
no.
out there to you.
I did not. Thank you, everybody, for the congratulations. I truly appreciate it. Once.
Yeah, being a father has definitely changed. And I know Marcus and I both have kids, and I actually posted something on my Facebook page that said, Mark Twain quote, "There are two important days in your life: the moment you are born and the moment you know why." And I strongly believe one of the purposes in my life was to be a father. I've made it clear that I don't necessarily have a really great relationship with my Jehovah's Witness parents, but I think I've been able to take some of the good that they have taught me and then add something to that. And I still make mistakes as a parent, but at the end of the day, I think I was put on this earth in order to mentor not just my own children, but I think I was put on the earth to mentor people and to make a positive impact on people's lives, especially our youth, and that includes my children. And Trey. I'm gonna keep talking about Trey till he gets his ass on here. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna talk about it till he gets back on here.
We need to bribe him somehow. Get him on here.
He told me he was gonna come on here for an hour today, and he lied to me. Lied to me in my face.
He said that the time before and the time before and the time before, didn't he?
Get on him, Jake. Get on him. Tell him, man. Get on him.
Trey, you need to get that ass up on this panel, man.
Get him, Jake. Get him.
Oh, look at. There she is.
Oh.
Oh my goodness!
Wow. Look at there. Look at those eyes. She's whoa.
She's a beaut.
She's like.
I just think back when my niece was that small and she could just fit in the palm of my hand, man. She's adorable. What's her name?
Journey.
Journey.
Main Hill. So my wife and I we met traveling. So we've had a lifestyle of traveling, hence the whole living in Mexico thing. So it was very befitting that we named her Journey.
That is
She
awesome,
is officially just over 2 months old now.
She's like, Dad, what are you doing? I don't like the cameras and the lights in my face, Dad. What's going on?
We're all strange people.
Or maybe the opposite.
Hello,
Lights,
hello,
camera.
hello.
Say hey, everybody.
She
Oh,
gave
yeah,
us a
she-
little
she-
bit of a wave.
Norm.
Oh, look at that.
This is a whole world changer right here. Like,
Look at those big bug eyes.
yeah, man, like I will catch myself just looking at it, just go into tears. Like, yo, we created like this. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jeff, you got
Reminds me of-
you got a lot of compliments coming in here. Deanna said that she's beautiful, and Deanna, you doesn't have any kids, but she's saying your little one is so beautiful. Mr. B is saying when her daughter was born, he grabbed the light and said, grabbed the doctor's light and moved it out of the way. And she said, what the hell? I was using that. And he said, I didn't want to damage it when I hit the floor.
Right. It is something, man, to go back and just look at like creation and learning kind of how she was in the womb now, looking at her mannerisms now, and just growing like every day. I did a speech on her last week called the Discovery Channel, and it was just about just everything is new to her. Like for the first time, every moment. So to see her like start to get her focus and look at a blanket and say, oh, those are spots, and like start trying to touch the spots and interact with things. It's crazy to see how she is like literally learning everything as she goes. So it makes you as a parent more aware, because you relearn and you have to think about like, what is she thinking about, and learning what the cries mean and what the what the gurs and coos and all that kind of stuff means. So it's a learning experience for everybody. So the whole play on the Discovery Channel, think about it. You watch the Discovery Channel, you're tuned into it. You figure out what's going to happen next. Is the lion, getting the gazelle? Now I'm trying to figure out, well, what does this cry mean? Like, is this a real cry? Is it just, I want some attention cry? So, it's a forever learning experience. I'm with the it's. I'm for it.
Listen, man, my son is 4, and till this day, I still pick him up. He'll still come up to me and say, hey, Dad, pick me up real quick, and I'm picking him up. There are times where if I get out of the car in the store, I don't like my 4-year-old walking in the parking lot, so I'll pick him up throughout the parking lot until we get to the storefront. Then I'll put him down if he wants to walk. But enjoy holding your little one as much as you can, man, because that's the most precious thing you can ever do. We had a whole
Yeah.
podcast. Me and Marcus had a whole podcast, and I said, "How old do your kid have to be before you stop picking them up and holding them?"
Yeah,
Man.
my niece is. You were talking about the different kinds of cries and stuff. My niece is she's 1 and 3 months. She's definitely going through those cries for attention, and I can definitely tell. Sometimes when I go over there, she'll look up at me like, "When are you gonna pick me up?" Or like I'm hungry or something like that. I want a snack or something like that.
Man, I actually learned something from Oprah that I thought was really interesting. Somebody sent us a clip, and apparently, like newborns, they have five languages or 5 words, so to speak, that they can communicate, and it's like a nah, a heh, but all of them mean something different. So we've learned to kind of train our ear to listen for, like, nah, that means she's hungry, or like if she's like, that means she has gas, and it's a difference between lower gas, upper gas, wet diaper, all of that. So you start to kind of learn and pick up on the little subtleties, and now she started to kind of soothe herself to where she just wants to, like, just put me down and let me put myself to sleep. And that's kind of refreshing because now she's starting to kind of exert her independence. Every now and again, like today, she was clingy today, which cool, I love it. I just set her on me for hours and just did some work, just kind of, because when I'm skin to skin, she's gonna stick to me essentially. So, and even that, man, like, if you have the luxury, you don't want to have to put her down. And for me, I remember one of the things that I wanted to be when I was even a kid was present, because my father worked graveyard growing up. So there were times where he couldn't make my games and stuff like that because he had to work, and I got it, I understood, But I was like, when I have a family, I want to be present, like whatever that looked like. I just want to be able to be there, and I'm so happy and fortunate to say, my daughter doesn't know what a daycare is, and I don't plan on her having to know that. Like if we hire help to come in, different ball game, but I want her to know who her parents are and that she's safe with us every step of the way.
Amen.
Right, baby.
Amen,
Yeah.
brother.
So yeah.
I was gonna piggyback on something Brian said earlier when he's talking about picking up kids and whatnot. My son is 25. He'll be 26 in October. But every time I see him, I still hug him and I kiss his neck. And then my daughter is 12, and she still crawls up into my lap, or she still wants me to pick her up to hug her. So it goes by fast. And
That's
what's
dope. I like just that when you think about the love that the children have, because sometimes people might not have a good relationship with their parents, and I've often wondered, what does that look like when she gets old enough to have deep opinions, and when she gets into maybe the teens, their emotions are high, and everything, like that first breakup is going to crush her. What does that look like? Is she still going to want to be consoled? She's still going to have that same appreciation of parenting, or is it like, I'm rebellious, I got this?
all the above.
Megan,
all the above.
Megan, I know you don't have your own children, but there are neighbors that you spend time with their younger ones as well, and I know you have a motherly instinct about you as well. Talk about it. Talk about when you were around young, smaller infants and children. What do you think about what we're talking about?
I don't hang out with my neighbors' kids. My neighbors didn't.
You've had a kid. You've had a child on the live stream one time.
Yeah, the people I let stay at my place. Yeah, they had a 1-year-old.
Oh, that's who that was. Okay.
I get along great with kids, and kids tend to kind of gravitate towards me. So, I mean, this kid, the one that you saw me with, his parents had some issues. So he was,
okay.
I was a steady person in his life.
Oh wow.
So he liked me a lot, but I don't really, I don't get to see kids much anymore. My niece is 13 now, or 14, I don't know, but she's also 1,000 miles away. Yeah, I just have that 2-year-old that keeps wanting to run into my house to terrorize my cats.
In case you guys, by the way, in case you guys were wondering, there was someone in the chat who says that hide all the ugly dudes and put Megan center mass on the chat. So I made Megan the center of our attention. Hey, you got another one? I already did.
I'm ugly.
Bring me another one. Like, okay, come on.
There's a baby on screen, and you're saying that you're gonna put me front and center? Are you kidding?
Ain't nobody like to look at Big Jake.
Well, listen. Listen. Look, I'm just trying to appease the chat, man. Everybody knows that Megan is the one, and then she turns the camera off.
Oh, come on,
It's for the
Megan.
fans. It's for the fans.
Bravo, Megan. Bravo.
You want me to stand up and start, dancing for you or something? Because that ain't gonna happen.
There we go. We got the baby face in the picture. I will say this, and we had this conversation, and now that Jeff is back, and hopefully he'll be more of a participant in the live streams moving forward when he has availability. But I want to impress upon people what you see here is that the stereotypical narrative that you see when it comes to black men is that we are not fathers. We're absentee fathers. And everybody that I know have been active participants in their children's life. I don't know anybody, maybe outside of my older brother who was on drugs a lot, but that's a different story. There have been people that all around me that have always been a part of their children's lives. So I want to make a testament to the gentlemen that are on this stream, minorities or not, even in the chat. And I've seen some people in the chat talking about they're raising their kids and how young their youngest are and all those types of things. Kudos to all the dads, because we give a lot of props to the mothers out there, and that's great. That's justified. But I want to tip my hat to all the men out there who go and take care of our families and our children and try to be positive and examples in today's society. And I appreciate what you guys do, and I applaud each and every one of you for doing what you do. And I'm in awe of all the gentlemen here that are very active in raising their children. So let's do all you guys.
Back at you, kid.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Salute. Thank you for that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Moms have it bad. I mean, I see my mom. I see my wife and my 4-year-old. I'm in my office, and I can see them bickering all day long, and I have to come out there, and I feel like sometimes I have to inject myself into situations, and my wife hates it when I do that, because I'm always trying to be like, let's just keep the peace. And she's around this 4-year-old who thinks he's 14, and he's mouthy, and I have to sometimes take a step back and go, you know what? I just got to let them handle their problems and let them do it, because she's with him all the time. And when she's gone sometimes and I'm with him, then I kind of get a taste of why she gets frustrated at times. I'm like, this 4-year-old who talks and has a vocabulary like most of us on this panel, I was like, dude, stop talking. Please, just stop talking for 5 freaking minutes. Stop talking.
So when you walk out there and they're bickering, do they both look at you and tell you to shut up?
Yes, yeah, that's exactly. And so my wife looks at me and goes, "I don't need you to talk to me or get involved." And then my son goes, "Dad, why are you complaining? Dad, why are you complaining?" I'm like, "Golly, all I'm trying to do is be the peacemaker, and they attack me."
Hey Nick, Flaky Jake is not me. That's me.
I know. I got so confused. I was like, what? Okay, there's no way you graduated before 1975 in college.
No, I'm only 30 years old, dude.
Like, are you using a filter to make yourself look young?
I don't think any filter could, work on me.
Okay, now I know where we're at.
Just saying.
Flaky
Yeah,
Jake
Flake-
is a woman.
Yeah, Flaky
You got
Jake's a woman.
three left, Brian, huh? Just 3 left or 2 left? Do you save
those-
them?
Are those Cubans? Or are those, what are those, Brian?
Uh-oh, we lost your microphone,
Better
Brian.
tap his mic.
Sorry.
There you go.
My neighbor just brought these over. We're gonna smoke a cigar before bed, and She's
Zeus.
these are different types of flavors, and we're going to do this for Jeff because when you have a baby, you got to have that cigar to bring in the newborn. So we're going to do this for you, Jeff.
This is true.
I got a vape pen. I can participate somehow.
Look. Hey, hold on a second. By the way, that was my neighbor. That wasn't my wife, True Teller. And look who's in the chat. If anybody noticed who's in the chat,
Zeus?
Zeus.
Zeus out there
is in the
somewhere?
chat.
Hooray.
Zeus is in the chat.
Zeus, what up, Zeus?
Hate that guy.
Where is he?
Hate that guy.
Zeus just
Hey,
in the
I'm
chat.
I'm on your side, Zeus. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, Zeus. Hey, Zeus.
James the Mick, I really want to talk about, I want to talk about that next week. He talked about his mother died at 57. Losing a parent, it has to be something very traumatic. My wife lost her mother. She was very close to her mother. They actually lived together. My wife had her own apartment, and then her mom moved in with her. Up until where we actually moved in together, and then her mom moved her on, and they were so close. And my wife still struggles 4 years later dealing with her mom passing because they were that close. And I can't imagine losing a parent, even if I'm not close to my own parents. As we raise our children, and we said this on one of the other chats, we're at the point where I'm getting notifications on Facebook that somebody that went to school or graduated the same year we graduated, Marcus, and they died of some kind of a cancer or some type of something. They're starting to pass away. I hope everybody is in good health, and and I know we've got some people in the chat that have had health issues, and I want you guys to feel free to understand that if you want to talk about it and you want to talk about loss, you want to talk about health, I'm all for it. And I think I'm speaking for most of the people on our panel, if not all, that we're here to discuss those types of difficult subjects to go with. I think it'd be healthy for everybody to talk about it. Loss is something that I have not really experienced in a long time since my grandparents. And I think it'd be healthy even for me to do it.
Yeah, my grandparents died in the late 90s and 100. And I have all four of my parents because they're all remarried. But I did lose my brother I was 32. So that's the only loss I've really experienced when it comes to family. But you obviously, that you're going to bury your parents one day, right? Because you certainly don't want them to bury you.
Absolutely.
And it's still not something you can really ever prepare for.
I lost my grandma last year to cancer, man. She found out she had it, and it just completely ravaged her, man. It didn't take long. It's been a year and a half, and I'm still feeling that sting. It's hard to process. It hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like 1 minute she's here, and then I get a call. I'm sitting there at work. I literally fall down on the floor. My boss is like, "Holy shit, are you okay?" Like, sitting on the phone crying with my stepmom, and I was like, "My grandma just passed away." That was a bad day. That was terrible. Life's short,
Life is short. That's 100%
In
sure.
the grand scheme of things, it really is, man. I lost my sister back in 2003 to cancer. She was 26 or 27 when she passed. And I lost my grandmother last December. And we nearly lost my father in February. He blacked out, passed out, died twice. And my little brother had to do CPR to bring him back. And my mother called me, she FaceTimed me when it was happening. And she's like, "Your father just died in the yard." And I'm like, "What?" Let me see him. And he's doing chest compressions. He came back, and I'm like that's just it's never an easy thing. It's for me, my grandmother was tolerable. My grandmother was 89. Granted, we saw that slow fade. We knew, 89 is a very long lifespan, and I got to, see her and spend time with her.
Right.
But my father is, upper 60s, I'm thinking, we got another 20 years or so, and 2 months after we buried my grandmother, he's dying in the front yard because of COVID complications. So he had COVID, pneumonia, and a urinary tract infection all at the same time.
Wow.
You want to know something crazy? It's like sometimes people say, "Oh, you'll get over it. It'll feel better." It's like, nah, man. The pain never goes away. It becomes manageable. You just learn how to, get by without it completely overtaking your life, and you just got to try to find ways to stay sane while still dealing with that kind of.
Let Megan. I see Megan put something in the chat. I want to give Megan some opportunity to articulate what she just put in the chat. You're on mute.
Sorry about that. What I just put in the chat? That was fast. How losing my grandparents was quite the opposite. I mean, they were 98 and 98 when they passed away, and then my grandmother passed away the next year at 100. But they were all so negative and such miserable people, and they brought everyone around them down. So to me, it was just like, well, they're it's about time. They're pushing 100.
Right.
And they're just such. They took joy out of making other people miserable. They were really bad. So I wasn't sad, but my mom, I felt for her. She knew who they were, but still, you lose a parent even when they are miserable people. It still really affected her. So I was there for her, but I was kind of indifferent to them because they lived on the other side of the country. I didn't like seeing them.
Right.
So totally different, but I felt for my mom.
Hey, you know what? I want to nip this in the bud because I really think that we could really go deep and hard on this conversation. I want to make sure that we bring this as a topic for our next podcast because I think you're going to stir up a lot of emotions, and I'm all about for having emotional conversations. Because that's a side that people don't really expect from men. There's a lot of men on this panel, and I want to show that we can, let our guard down and talk about some emotional type of things throughout the podcast. So if we can table this, we've been going on for 2.5 hours now, which is usually how we kind of do things. And I know I've got some things I got to do, and Zeus is still afraid to get onto the live stream. We all have to work in the morning. So let's go around table. Jeff is not back into the saddle real quick right now because he's putting baby girl back to bed or with mom. So let's start with Jake. Parting words, sir.
Usually, just what I usually say all the time. Just be kind to each other, stay happy, healthy, and even if you're struggling, just no matter how hard things get up be thankful you're waking up, because there's some people that don't get that. Just be happy you're waking up. If you're working, be happy you're working. And I've talked to people and they're like, yeah, complain, it doesn't do you any good, but still fight that good fight. Just get up, do what you need to do, go home, and stay positive. The world's ugly enough as it is, so just hang in there and you'll get there in due time.
And normally I would love to have ladies go first, but it's Megan's birthday, so she's gonna go last. She's gonna have she's gonna go after me even. So Megan's gonna have the last word. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it to Marcus. Give us a dad joke and then give us some parting words. And then I'll give my parting words, and then the birthday girl will be able to sign us off for tonight because it's her special day.
It's always a good time. So it's always a good time catching up with you guys and for a couple of hours and laughing and talking about stuff. And I love the way the conversation just flows. We'll put a topic out there, and we all just kind of hit it, and this thing just takes off. So I love that. Yes. And now for my dad jokes.
Yes.
Jeff, it's a good thing you put your baby girl down because you're gonna hit the floor on these.
Yeah.
All right. Why are skeletons always so calm?
Why are skeletons so calm? I don't know.
Nothing gets under their skin.
Ah!
Ah! I'll do my famous Ace Ventura laugh.
So, all right. So, what's a computer's favorite snack?
Bits,
bite.
bits, and something.
Something bites.
Microchips.
Microchips.
Ah!
Microchips. I knew that. I should have got
All
that.
right. I saved the best one for last. Can anybody tell me the name of that city in Nevada where all the dentists go to visit? Jeff's gonna need some after this pizza.
No, I have no idea.
Las Vegas. I'm here every
Boo! That was the worst one. You should have.
Tuesday.
That should have been the first joke you had. That was the worst one of all three. The worst one. I'm not gonna even give you a courtesy chuckle. Not even worth a courtesy chuckle.
Las Vegas. Wow.
You know, hey, I'm here every Tuesday night. And y'all come back and see me.
I'll always be here, Marcus. I'll always be your supporting, laughing guy.
Thank you, Jake. I'm gonna bring my own laugh track from now on.
Yes, you need to. All right, Mr. Jeff, the financial guy. Thank you again. You have blessed us with your appearance once again. You have been the #1 host since day one, so I appreciate you going and joining us again. It's been a long time coming, and I really am stoked of you being here, and hopefully this is the first of many in your return. So go ahead and give us your parting words of wisdom for everyone.
For me, my parting words of wisdom is I'm going to lean back on the idea of the Discovery Channel. Life gives you opportunities for you to learn, and if you really pay attention and heighten your awareness, there's a lot of teachable moments that happens around us on every single day. So be a blessing to other people, try to lift somebody's spirit, and just look for those teachable moments because you just never know what you might learn and how you might grow from it.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Amen. So before the birthday girl gives her parting words of wisdom as she turns another year older, another trip around the sun, let me just tell everyone, I'm not going to mention names. I want to make sure everyone is included. I don't want to miss anybody, but everyone in the chat, I appreciate you. We at Drinks and Discussions, everyone in this panel, appreciates each and every one of you, because without you and you guys being engaging with us and making sure that the things that we are talking about are something that you actually want to participate in means a lot. It means that we're trying to grow this channel and be more responsive to what you guys want to hear, and that in itself speaks volumes to me. Again, you could do a lot better things on Taco Tuesday than hang out with Drinks and Discussions. And I, along with everyone you see their faces on this screen, appreciate you doing so. Thank you to Nick. He had to drop off early. I want to appreciate him also for being here. Please, if you haven't already, tell your friends. Drinks and Discussions on YouTube, not Facebook. YouTube is the place to go. We want to make sure that everybody is involved in all the things and all the channels that we're bringing to the forefront. James the Mick, I know you love football. We've already talked about this. Team Skeptic and I are going to do something together in September. I want to make sure you guys are aware. It won't be the same thing he does on his channel, won't be the same thing that we do on this channel, but it will be something collaborative that will make you guys want to watch, and hopefully you guys will enjoy. It's going to be on site somewhere, and hopefully you guys will make sure you watch that. It's not about anybody's bickering with whoever's channel or anything like this. These are just two channels that we like each other, and we want to do something that's going to be fun, and hopefully our viewers for both channels will enjoy. That's the whole purpose. I hope you guys didn't think that I'm coming down or saying that one thing is right or wrong. I offer my perspective. I am not a perfect individual. I don't see things the same way people see things. I'm just saying how I see things, so don't fault me. And if you have a problem with the things that I say, I am an open book. Please come at me, critique me. I can take it. I'm thick-skinned. I promise you. If there's something I said that you didn't agree with and you want to have a conversation on the back end, not even on live stream, I'm open to those types of things. So let's keep this stream positive. Let's keep these people, everybody who's coming, feeling welcomed. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Always stay healthy, stay strong. And if you're going to drink, please drink responsibly and don't drink and drive. So, with that, drum roll, please. Anybody give me a drum roll? Anybody give me a drum roll? To the world. Wait.
Oh,
Jake's got it.
wrong
Jake's got
movie.
it. Jake's got the drumsticks. Let's go.
Oh, nice.
Without, I'm gonna do my Michael Buffer, voice. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've waiting for. Without further ado, she is the one, the only. The one who makes all things possible and makes every live stream better. Miss Birthday Girl herself, me, Megan.
Quite the build up.
The floor is yours. The
No,
floor is
no
yours.
pressure there.
We tried.
No, you did very, very well. Now I just have to live up to that. But so people who don't know, I'm turning 40. Or I turned 40 today. And I've had a lot of people just be like, "Oh, 40," like, "Oh no, you don't look over 25." I'm like, I got no problem with my age. So the people out there that just, the future is one more year closer to death and all that. It's just no, you can't look at it that way. You gotta look at it as becoming wiser with age and not really having regrets, and just learning from your mistakes. So I've always worn my age on my sleeve with pride. I've always been an older soul, and my body is acting like that lately. So I'm gonna enjoy my 40s. Besides, nowadays they say that 40 is the new 30. Who knows? Who knows what they say? But
You don't look a day older than 39.
I was gonna guess 32.
I'm 1 day older than 39.
My mom likes to say it's the 10th anniversary of her 20th birthday or something like that, or it's the 4th anniversary of her 20th birthday.
Yeah, my
Something
mom
like
was
that.
42 for 5 years. So, whatever works for them, that's fine. But me, I don't mind my age. But so far, beginning this year with a little bit of COVID, why not?
Right?
Why not?
So it can only go up from here, right?
Yeah.
Or downhill, depending on how many conversations we have on Drinks and Discussions.
Well, luckily I'm a half glass or half full. Yeah, glass half full type of person.
Cheers to you, Megan. Cheers to Megan.
Salud.
Happy birthday.
Cheers.
Salute. All right, guys, that's great. I really appreciate you guys. Please look on our main channel on YouTube. Drinks and Discussions Movies, Drinks and Discussions Sports, Drinks and Discussions True Crime, Drinks and Discussions Ladies Night, which I hope Megan will take over and she can run with that. She has the keys to the city on that channel. She can do whatever she wants. And if there's any other ladies that would love to go in and talk about whatever they want to talk about, please reach out to Megan, start that channel, please, and let's make it happen. I appreciate every one of you guys and all my panelists. I really appreciate you guys because I could not do this by myself. I mean, I probably could without Trey, but I am glad that you guys. I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you guys again for always being here on a Tuesday night. We'll see you next Tuesday. Look for sports and sports drinks and discussion sports tomorrow or next Wednesday, but we're gonna do it before football. I'm going to drag, if I have to drag Marcus into a sports and discussions, I will definitely do it. But we're going to have it done before football season starts. Jeff, you're going to be a part of that too. Jake, you're always welcome to any panel we're always on because you know your family, dude. And Megan, just because it's sports. Hold on, just because it's sports, Megan, if you want to be a part of any of those channels, you're always welcome. But Jake, make sure you're always as welcome as well.
One more thing. I'm going to try to get Nick on board. Me and him are going to try to get Drinks and Discussions music started up. I want to try to do that here soon. I'm going to talk to him a little bit about it and see what we can do. And we'll be over there talking music. Any genre, instruments, you name it.
That's your channel, man. I'll go over there and just participate, but that is your channel to host, and we'll do whatever you want to do. So make it happen. Good night, everybody. I will see you guys next Tuesday, or not, if not before. Happy birthday again to Megan. Good night, everybody.
Night.